Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your first US Tour watch along. It's Arsenal against Manchester United. The team news is in, we're ready to go. We're in the States and we're also in our normal state of watch along heaven, and you're very, very welcome. This, well, it feels like late Saturday night to me. It's actually early Sunday morning. We have got the team news coming in for you from Manchester United as well, and thank God I've got the t-shirt on and Lenny Yoro is actually playing. There was some talk that he might not be playing, but apparently he is. I just want to give some shout outs as well to our new members, Cliver Toon, R. Mores and Arch285. Welcome to the members club, absolute legends there. But I hope you're doing very, very well this evening. Excited for this game, I hope. Manchester United up against Arsenal. And let's get a big hello from everybody who's watching. I can see Linda's there in the chat. Let us know what you're doing and where you're watching from, because we've got plenty of hours to get into. Apparently I'm early. Did not know. Oh, 12:15 a.m. was meant to be the scheduled start time. So, yeah, apologies for that one. We started a little bit early. I could have had another 5 minutes. But, nee bother. It doesn't matter. We're absolutely fine to be live now, aren't we? I've got some good stuff for us to work through for. It's a 1 a.m. kickoff in the UK, by the way, but apparently it's already going to be 10 past 1, so we're actually about an hour away from the start of this stream already. Out of sync. Yeah, what does out of sync mean? Out of sync bridge. What does out of sync mean? Okay, let me just find out what's going wrong here. Voice isn't matching your mouth. What the fuck? How can this be the case? I'm literally streaming as normal. Voice and video out of sync. Oh, I mean, this is just I mean, fancy getting this at... Well, I'm going to have to stop the stream, everybody. I've got absolutely no idea. Absolutely none. There's literally nothing I've done. Apparently my mic and audio. There's no rhyme or reason for this at all. Ah, dearly. It's really. I'm going to have to stop the stream, everybody. I really am going to have to apologise for this and hope that we can get back in time, because I've got absolutely no idea. I mean, I've literally been streaming on these settings with you tonight. No, I know it's out of sync, but I'm going to have to run some tests and just stop. I've got absolutely no idea why it's done that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've got no idea here. I'm gonna have to stop the stream and come back. Apologies. Apologies, everybody. I will get it fixed. I'll set up a new stream. Fucking hell. So annoying. I wonder if it's a bug, actually. Am I still here or not? I know what I need to do. I don't know why I'm not doing this. Yeah, I'm still here, still out of sync. Okay. I just tried to stop it and start it and see if it would make any difference. And it didn't. Wow, it's well out. Okay, I will stop. I'm gonna have to turn this off and see if it will do anything. Calling all the stars that's born and catch the silver sunlight in your head. Hey Lila. Fixed it. Boom! I'm a fucking miracle worker. I can work a miracle. There we go. Yeah, we're now got major echo because I've got it on there. Kiss my face, kiss my face. That's how you run a top level business. You don't panic. You get help. You figure stuff out, and we've done. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Right, now I need to get my overlays up and running. I'm very pleased with myself that I've sorted that out. If you have only just tuned in, we were struggling a little bit there, but yeah, we've sorted it out now, and I will go back through the team news for you, which I never even got to go through. But I've got a few things I just need to upload here first. So let's take that. Is that working yet? Oh, it's even better. It's getting better all the time. I've now got the team on the screen. It's almost too good to be true. I mean, you know, sometimes a challenge at the start is good. You know, it makes you appreciate what you've got, and you're living with it. You're operating with a genius here. You know, literally a major problem averted when we had the basically to put it like this. I had an issue with the audio, and I sorted it out. So I can now start talking to you properly about stuff. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. I think we deserve it for that. I think I'm not even going to take the credit because people helped me behind the scenes, and so did you. So I think collectively we succeed together. So there we go. Manchester United's team is up on the screen for you there. As I was saying before, I sort of gambled with the Euro t-shirt, and I'm very, very glad that I did. If you want to get one of these, by the way, we do ship them worldwide. United Stand Shopify. I think it's pinned in the chat somewhere anyway. But we have got those that we can send out. But the whole point, I mean, look, my point is Euro is actually starting. And look, interestingly as well, remember what I was saying before, I wonder whether he'll go with a strong team and what his strongest team would be. I think he's gone strong team first half there. I think he's definitely gone strong team first half there, which is interesting because McTominay doesn't start, Collier does, Amas starts, Murray doesn't. Apart from that, I think that's pretty much his strongest team, and it's encouraging to see Ahmad on the right, Rashford on the left, and Rasmus up front. We've then got Mount, Casemiro, and Collier, which I'm happier with than McTominay, and Amas, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Yoro, and Onana is what I would have expected as well. I mean, look, I don't want to see Maguire playing for Man United. I'd rather see Johnny Evans playing, to be honest. But I did expect that, and Aaron says Maguire over Evans is interesting. So yeah, I think we all expected that. Is it Maguire's last game? I very, very much doubt it. I very much doubt it, mate, to be honest with you. Seamus says, Mark putting the fire out, a true professional at work. Well, you've got to be cool, you've got to be calm, you've got to stay together. I do like this new Man United kit, by the way. I do like it. I think it's a nice kit, and I'm not normally somebody that goes for that sort of thing. Kits, not really normally my thing, but I do quite like that. And I will give you how Arsenal are lining up as well. We should have that on the screen. But before we do that, I just wanted to go through the bench for Manchester United tonight, and you will be able to see. Let me just go back. I will tell you who's on the bench for Manchester United. So I suspect we will probably see half and half again. But Heaton, Vitek, Bennett, Evans, Fish, Murray, Ericsson, Hannibal, Fletcher, Mata, McTominay, Oyedele, Scanlon, Anthony, Sancho, Wheatley. So in the second half, we will probably see Ericsson and McTominay in the midfield, Johnny Evans in the back, but also Anthony and Sancho playing off the wing with Wheatley up front. So we will see the likes of Ericsson, McTominay, Anthony, Sancho in the second half. But does that give an indicator, or am I reading too much into it, that Collier is now ahead of Scott McTominay? Because McTominay has been training for long enough that he could have started this game, and he's actually on the bench and Collier starts. So I think Ahmad is clearly ahead of Sancho and Anthony, as we thought. Rashford would start on the left as expected. Højlund up front. Mason Mount as the 10. No surprises in the front four as far as I'm concerned. Casemiro playing. Obviously, we don't have anybody else who can play there. But McTominay could have played. He is not. Collier's playing there. And obviously, Maguire in ahead of Johnny Evans. But apart from that, it's pretty much as you would have thought it. And Mount in that number 7 shirt. Do something, Mark, says Parker. So sad to see Maguire in a Man United jersey again. Get that guy out, says Ardy. And Oki says, thank you for everything you do, Mark. I've been a member for a month, but I'm just finding out. Loving from Nigeria. Thank you very much, mate. Hope you're well. Ian is a new member as well. Welcome to Members Club, Ian. Engineer Bridge works it out, says Jackie. Must be a delay in the software. It happens. Thank you, Jackie. And Mads, welcome to Members Club. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Enter the Dragon stand, says Globetrotter. And Nick says, I'm having everyone I know in the UK order me a signed copy of your book. I'm hoping to meet Beth in South Carolina to sign a United Stand shirt, says Nick. There we go. Lovely stuff. Oliver, welcome to Members Club as well. Legend. And, well, look, thanks everyone who's tuning in. We've got nearly 7,000 tuning in already, which is fantastic. Let me just see if I can get you the Arsenal team news up for you as well, because obviously they are our opposition tonight. We're very excited about that. And I believe Arsenal is on the screen as well as Manchester United. Is Man United there? Yep. Okay. So Arsenal are lining up with Heen in goal. God, my eyes aren't that good. Timber, White. Oh, sod that. I can't read that. If you can read that, well done. But my eyes aren't that good. So even with glasses. Even with my glasses on, I can't read that. But I can get it from somewhere else. Obviously, Saliba's not part of it. So, Heen, White, Timber, Heaven. He must be... I hope he's good. Zinchenko. Jorginho, Nwaneri, Odegaard, Nelson, Trossard, Jesus. And then on their bench, they've got Gabriel, Martinelli, Havertz, Nketiah, Kivior, Partey. So they've gone for a bit of a half and a half team, haven't they, really? Because, we've gone for a strong team in the first half. They've gone for a bit of a mix by the looks of it. I'm just intrigued by one player for Arsenal, which I've not heard anything about before. Ethan Nwaneri, who is 17 years of age. and plays as a midfielder. So keep an eye out for him because he might be an interesting profile player for Arsenal, playing in their midfield, number 53. Evening Mark, thoughts on the new strips? As I just said, Double D, I quite like it. It's good kit. MX says, thoughts on the Chelsea loss? I know it's a friendly, but they played a relatively strong side. Celtic also put 4 past City. Perhaps signs for next season, says MXLCS. Well, they're playing each other first game of the season, Chelsea, Man City, so that'll be an interesting one, certainly there. Want to play a bit of a game because we have got a few minutes till kick-off. It kicks off at 1 o'clock, although we're hearing it could be 10 past 1. But I was thinking about this earlier, and I thought I wanted to bring it in on the 8 o'clock show, but we didn't have time. So, presume you've got to take a leap of faith here that we're going to sign some of these players. But just for the next few minutes, I'm going to give you scenarios of if we buy this player, who would you start? So, for example, if we buy De Ligt, who would you start, Yoro or De Ligt, next to Martinez? So that's the first one we're going to do. But I've got a few for you. Who would you start? De Ligt or Yoro, and we've got a few of these to play, so get ready. Evening Mark, just want to say I love Man United in French, says Tierno. Thank you very much for that, and gifted membership from Footy King, appreciate that as well. You don't need to put it in the chat, you can just vote in the poll. People are writing it in the chat. Oh, bless them. Don't cry, it's 5:30 a.m. in India. I also lived in India for 24 years, now in Canada. I never complain about game time. This one doesn't bother me at all. This one and Liverpool next week I'm not bothered about because I was just watching a film after the 8 o'clock show, just watched a film. And then I've just been let the puppy out for a piss, which is a good time to do it at midnight. I was catching up on a couple of emails, then go live and... once, you know, I'll be fine now. Once the game kicks off and I'm chatting with you good people, I'll be absolutely fine. But I think the Betis game on Wednesday will be a struggle because that's 3 o'clock in the morning. It kicks off our time. So I don't really fancy... I hate getting up early in the morning. I don't fancy getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, to be honest with you. So I might try and stay up, but it's difficult to do that. So what do you do if you are American or Indian or Australia? If Man United are kicking off at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, do you have a bit of a sleep before? So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Welcome to life of an Aussie, waking up at 1 a.m, 5 a.m. to watch our United play. So yeah, you get up and watch it. That's what you do. Yeah. Dream Chester, thank you very much. Welcome to Members Club. Heaven and Jesus starting. Christ, says Robbie. He's on the bench, Robbie. He's on the bench. Who is from Pakistan in this chat, says Kubaib. Well, look, tell us where you're watching from. We love all that. Sleep early and wake up, Mark, says Cam. Yeah, that's a good idea, but I'm terrible at going to bed early. I really am. So, yeah, let me just go back to the United team. That's the Arsenal team, and we will get you the Man United team up for you on the screen as well, which is there. Rasmus up front. No Scott McTominay. Collier starts instead, so I'm very excited. Very excited about that. Go to bed early and get a bit of a kip. Easy. Apparently Romans did that as well, says Ardy. Lovely stuff there. What do you think about the team, everybody? I know we've got a bit of a poll going on, but what do you think about the team? There's no transfer news tonight. We can talk about transfers, but there is no news for me to give you. I gave you that at 8 o'clock. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. I think we've hit 901,000. But I'm pretty sure we did. I'm going to take a leap of faith here and say that we did and change it. But on the road to we're on the road to 2 million. So please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and get involved. But what are your thoughts on the team tonight? That is a more prominent question. What are your thoughts on the team tonight? Would you have made any changes? Does that work for you? It works for me. I'm happy with it. I think it's the right team at the right time, and I wouldn't have done anything really that mad different, if I'm being honest. I'm a little bit surprised that Collier's playing over McTominay, but I'm happy about that. I'd probably rather see Johnny Evans over Harry Maguire, but if Harry Maguire's staying, he needs to play, and if Harry Maguire is going, he needs to play. you know, you've got to get him match fit. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with that team. Rashford and Ahmad as the wingers is correct. Rasmus up front, Mason Mount at number 10. They picked themselves. Casemiro at 6. Wan-Bissaka right back. Yoro playing's great. Anana goalkeeper. Amas at left back is really exciting. We've not even spoken about that. And I think that's a really exciting thing to have Harry Amas at left back. It could have been Murray. He'll play in the second half. But, you know, Amas is a player that, you know, could he be the breakthrough player this year? I mean, that's what people are going to be saying. I think it's you know, it's certainly I think it's a bit too soon for Harry, but some people have slagged him off a little bit in the first game, saying, "Oh, he looks a bit shit." I just think he's a bit, you know, he was only 17 in March. He's literally not even 17 and a half. So, bit of context there, I think is key. Also, just talking about 17-year-olds, there is this number 54, I think he is, for Arsenal, Nwaneri, who is also 17 in March. So Nwaneri is playing in the midfield for Arsenal, and Amas is playing at left back for Manchester United. They're both 17, and they're both pretty much 17 at the same time. They'll be 18 next March. So keep an eye on those. Interesting sort of subtext there. Zayn Miasi says, "Come on, you Gunners." Thank you very much, Zayn. Are you going to watch the UFC tonight, Mark? Says Bran. The only thing I'll be watching is KFC if I get a bit hungry. But no, I won't even be eating that. Do you think Malacia will play? Says Parker. No. We said he was joking anyway. Corey Lineker says, "Lovely 5 p.m. kickoff here. Usually I'm getting up at 4 a.m. Most kickoffs are 8 to 9 a.m. here on the west coast of the States. Cheers, Mark," says Corey. Martinez and De Ligt, Yoro for the inevitable injury, says MX. And Mark, when you have a free couple of hours, look up last week's All-Ireland hurling final between Cork and Clare. What a game. Fastest field game in the world. You won't regret it, says Double D. And Dan T says, "Evening, Mark. Watching from Uganda and can't wait to see Collier." I think there's a lot to be excited about this United side, by the way. Rasmus back. I want to see how much service we can get into Rasmus. I know it's only pre-season, but imagine if Rashford and Ahmad and Mount are creating chances for Rasmus. That would be a novelty that we could build upon with Rude in the team. Can we create? Is Rashford going to change the way he plays, or is he going to always take people on and shoot? This is the things we're looking for. Can Ahmad start to pin down that right side of the field? Can Mount start to get creative as well? Collier, can he play in a team with more senior players? Casemiro, can he put in a decent performance? Amas, how's he going to do as a 17-year-old playing at left back for Man United? Yoro with Maguire, how high is that line going to be? Wan-Bissaka putting himself in the shop window as well. Absolutely fascinating to see how Manchester United are going to get on. Just on the poll we've got going as well, we've just got a bit of a subtext going on. So we're going to do a few players that, if they're at Man United next season, which player would you start? We're going to do Delo and Mazraoui next, but we've got De Ligt and Yoro. Who would you start for Man United against Fulham if you had both? At the moment, De Ligt's got 59%, which just shows the amount of people that want De Ligt to come in. Christian says, "Games are 1 to 3 a.m. here in New Zealand. I'm happy for the 12 p.m. kickoff." That's fantastic, Christian. Enjoy it. And Chance says, "Early morning watch along since 2016. Here for it. No Taylor Swift this time." This game, by the way, you might have seen this on our social media accounts. What are your thoughts on this? This game, no matter what, will have a penalty shootout at the end of it. No Lindelof, he's got a bit of a knock, Nick. We mentioned that in the 8 o'clock show. So there's going to be a penalty shootout in this game no matter what. Now, I remember this happening last year. We beat Arsenal and then there was a penalty shootout. We didn't have one in any other game. I don't know why we're doing it in this game again. And I don't know whether we're doing it in any other game. Utter woke nonsense, as Lion. I don't get the point of it. AFC Bailey says it's good practice. But that won't be the players taking the penalties. It'll be the players from the second half who take them. Complete and utter waste of time. Complete and utter waste of time. The only reason we're doing this is a bit of a gimmick for the American audience. There's no point to it. A penalty shootout is only exciting if it's in a tournament where you're going to win it or get knocked out. A penalty shootout at the end of the game that's already got a winner in it is just an added bit of fake entertainment. That's all it is. And fair play for those people in the ground that enjoy it, but you know, it's not doing anyone any harm. I just don't really see the point in it, to be honest. Thoughts? Joshua would be in team, not even on the bench, says Darren. He's not trained yet, Darren Xerxes, so he wouldn't be there. And Arsenal gone religious. They might want to win the league now with heaven and Jesus, says Robbie. And thank you very much for that. So was thinking about going to the game, but the tickets were very expensive. Plus foods and drinks and parking lots will be too expensive for me. Come on, United, says Arturo. Yeah, if you live anywhere in LA and you want to tell us a bit about the stadium, I mean, I can tell you a little about it. I think it's called the SoFi Stadium or the SoFi Stadium. I don't know. It's a 70,000 seater entertainment indoor-outdoor arena in the LA area of Inglewood. Thinking, if you've heard the name Inglewood, you've probably seen the film Boys to Men, which is a great film. In fact, I've just realised that's Boys in the Hood, not Boys to Men. They did something completely different. It's 3 miles from LA International Airport, and it's the stadium is a complex of components of Hollywood Park. It's also the home to the LA Rams and the LA Chargers, as well as the LA Bowl in college football. It is one of 2 stadiums currently shared by a pair of NFL teams, the other being the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, shared between the New York Giants and the New York Jets. So the LA Rams and the LA Chargers actually share this ground. Remember, three miles away from LA International Airport. It's good telly, extra to make my missus stay up, says Michael. And hi, Mark. England FA needs to stop American ownership, says Brian Sanchez. Okay. And currently in Spain on holiday. Keep up the good work, says Heart of United. Well, big up anybody who's on holiday, staying up late, watching this. Fair play. Mario Franco says everything in the US is fake anyway, including the Glazers. Hey, look, I'm not having any of that, Mario. We're not having any of that. You know, we don't like Americans rubbish, because that's a load of bollocks. But I think the penalty shootout is a bit of a joke, really. But if each their own, we'll be watching it, won't we? I just think it's a bit silly when the game's been won that you then do a penalty shootout. But it's not like Rashford's going to be taking one. Or Mounts. They'll all be off by then. Timmy, welcome to the Members Club. You're a legend. Thank you very much for joining. Beautiful stadium and great for concerts and NFL games, but for football, field conditions are always not good because they laid grass over artificial turf, says Toro. Thank you very much. Sven says start, bench, sell, Fellaini, Matic, McTominay. You've just picked 3 players that over the years I've been quite critical of. I'll sell McTominay, 100%. I'll bench Fellaini and I'll start Matic. That's actually quite easy. Fake entertainment. You just summed up the entire American entertainment industry. This is Outdoor Adventures. I'll be quaking in my seat for that penalty shootout, says Robbie. Yeah, I might take the puppy out for a piss and leave that to the chat, actually, at that point. Nearly 11,000 people watching. Please smash a like on the video and share it. You're very welcome on the United Stand. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. We do all the watch-alongs, all the previews. And I think tomorrow is a special treat. What we wanted to do for the week of the US tour was really cater for the audience that watch the United Stand that, don't really get anything between sort of 8 o'clock on a UK time evening and 10 o'clock on a UK time morning. So Beth, tomorrow night, our time, will be live at 3 a.m. So keep your eye on in the early hours. And hopefully we'll get a few player interviews as well after this game in the mix zone. We're hoping that will happen as well. So keep your eye out. 24 hours. We're a 24-hour channel for the next week, so keep your eye out for that sort of stuff. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. So Manchester United team is up on the screen there. I'm just about to change this poll. So we're asking the question, who would you start if you had De Ligt and Yoro? 59% of you went with De Ligt over Yoro. I don't think that's any bad reflection on Yoro. I just think it's the desire that many of us have at the moment to Fraser's on holiday in the Canary Islands, by the way, lovely place. It's that desire to have a more experienced centre-back as I look at Harry Maguire. Bring back 2022 Casemiro, says Tyler. Ethan Clarkson, welcome to Members Club. Rasmus will score 142 league goals this season, says James. Andres has just gifted a membership. I mean, God, do MUTV have a bloody... Does Harry Maguire have shares in MUTV? I mean, they've not moved off him for about half an hour. Are you watching this? It's propaganda. It's just pure propaganda. They've gone to Ahmad now. That's more like it. Robbie just said stadium is nicest he's been in, says Tony. Who's Robbie? And how far have you got press? How have you got press access on tour, but not through the season? And thanks for everything going. You do really help me with my mental health, says Dom. We on tour because Man United run it. It's easier to get access. Any Tom, Dick, or Harry will have access. Actually, you'll see probably other content creators who've got it. You know, even if their channel is tiny. You know, they can go on the tour and get on it, which I think is good. But during a Premier League season, you know, if your name's not Dan, you're not coming in. It's the more established press because it's not Man United who run it. It's the Premier League who pass it out to a company, and basically they're just stuck in the past using the likes of Manchester Evening News, Daily Mail, people like that. You know, it's ridiculous because way more people are watching the United Stand and reading other websites to do with Man United than they are the Daily Mail about Man United. But the press system is just archaic. So it's you know, it is what it is. But maybe they'll change one day in about 50. But in the UK we still can't watch 3 p.m. games. So you say it will change, but it probably won't. Hoping to see some more service for Rasmus. This is key, Fuster, really is. Nice to watch a match at a normal time over here, says Humphrey. German Sniper says, please read my super chat. When will you do your next career mode? Well, I probably won't do a career mode until the new game comes out now because the last one was jinxed. And I got the sack even though I was top of the league. So... yeah, I'm just giving up on EAFC 24. Ronnie Pickering. It's Ronnie Pickering. I'm Ronnie Pickering. He says, here's a tenner for a pint. Next pub trip. Ronnie, I love that. It's like that buy me a coffee stuff that podcasters do. Ronnie, I will definitely be using that for a pint. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Deserved sacking, says Peter. Yeah, but who gets sacked top of the league with Man United? It's a joke. And all it was because of some stupid thing about, I don't know what it was about. You know, the money was just resting in my account. I wasn't going to steal it. Not tonight. Not tonight, says MX. Rayan gifted a membership. Thank you very much. And AB says, it's great to have the boys back on the West Coast. Got to meet a true United legend in Dennis Irwin this week as part of the tour. What a player he was. He was absolutely brilliant, AB. He really, really was. Okay. I want to just do another either or here because I quite enjoyed that one about Delit and Yoro. So who would you start between these two if we have both? Delo or Mazraoui? Get your votes in. There you go. Lovely stuff. Got nearly 12,000 watching now. Please keep sharing the video. Get involved. You're very welcome. Hope the service to the forwards improves, says Seamus. Yeah, look, I know it's only pre-season, but there are aspects to this pre-season that are actually quite interesting. And what I mean by that is, I hate it when my balls are out of position. And what I mean by that is that if Man United were to win this game 6-0 tonight, then it doesn't mean we're winning the league. We beat Arsenal last year. If Marcus Rashford was to score a hat-trick tonight and all of them were cutting inside and shooting from 30 yards, it would be very, very nice on the eye. I do read this random chaps, Daddy, because I've been reading them for the last 5 minutes. it would be nice to see Rashford cut inside and score from 40 yards 5 times. But I tell you what would be better. I'd rather Man United lost 3-2 and Rashford put 2 crosses in for Rasmus than us win 4-0 and Rashford score a hat-trick shooting from all over the place. Because the results don't matter in pre-season, but the involvement of a player does. So we're watching Collier. I don't need him to play like prime Declan Rice, but I do need him to show his suitability and adaptability to playing with people like Casemiro and Mount. If Collier scores... that's a lovely one from Ashley. She says, we love you, bro. If Collier gets a better rating today than Mount or Casemiro, how do you justify that? He obviously is good enough to play with those players. So that is really, really important. If Marcus Rashford starts whipping in some crosses instead of taking people on, then again, that's really important because you're seeing something different. If Ahmad creates 2 chances again and scores a goal, then that's development from last week against Rangers. So there's a lot of things that you can learn about this. I suppose when we play Fulham, the result is more important than the individual. But in pre-season, I think the individual is more important than the result. And that's the best way of explaining it, isn't it? Pre-season results don't matter. To me, it's about the individual. But when the season starts, you're past all that. So I'm looking at people like Amas, Yoro, Anana, Casemiro, Collier, Mount, Rashford, Ahmad, Rasmus. That's what I'm looking at because I want to see, if there's any change or, are we going to get more of the same next season? I think a lot of time gets spoken about Marcus Rashford, but I actually think if he hasn't evolved his game, he will struggle because every opposition knows he's either going to cut inside and shoot or take you on. And that didn't work last year. So we're looking for evolution from players, really. And if there is any evolution there. Where will the service for Rasmus come from this year, Mark, with no new wingers, says Gary? Well, it's got to come from Rashford. It's got to come from Ahmad. It's got to come from Garnacho. It's got to come from Mount. It's got to come from the fullbacks. Where will the service... So, yeah, that's where I am, Gary. Danny Doritos, not heard from you in ages. Hope you're well. Ahmad will be revolutionary this season. I'm also excited for Collier. Is he more of a 6 or an 8? I hope he's a 6 and an 8, Danny, because that helps us. That helps us out, doesn't it? Mark, me, you, and Wan-Bissaka for lunch tomorrow at 1 p.m. says Lazy Parker. Yeah, let us know where. And where will the service for Erasmus come from this year, Mark? With no new wingers, thank you very much. And where's your snacks, Mark? Says Parker. It ain't the Super Bowl. Funny enough, though, I was thinking about this. I love my Super Bowl, our Super Bowl stream. Absolutely love doing that. And thanks for the membership, Andres, says Nick Savage. Loving the shorts, says Outdoor Adventures. But I'm not on the snacks tonight. CFC Jack has pre-ordered the book. You're a legend, mate. Thank you very much. If you want to do that, links in the description or use that QR code there. Really, really appreciate that. Lovely stuff. Rashford is worst version of Robin. Look, I think Rashford's going to cook this season. Let's see what he's cooking. German Sniper, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Cheers from America, Mark. For once, it's a watch-along on my time. Been watching since 2008, says Fergie99. Any news on Wan-Bissaka to West Ham, says Ullams. Well, apparently apparently talks are continuing. I think regardless of the games that we're going to play on tour, I really do think that we've got a very interesting week ahead for Manchester United. I do think that we will be signing players over the next week. Agate would be my big tip, but I think by the time the players come back from tour, which is a week on Monday, we will have players coming in for sure. Listening in from Ireland, can't sleep, love the community, getting me through a really tough time with the loss of my dad this month, says the Hughes lad. Love and prayers with you, Hughes lad, and glad to have you with us tonight. Look, mate, as I've said before, I'm not ashamed to say it, and nobody should do. You know, the loss of somebody important to you, there is no magic pill. You know, I think of some of the people important to me that are no longer there, friends or family. You know, even now and forever, there'll be times where I just think about it and it makes me sad. But ultimately, the grief process is the transition from that person being there to them being not there, and you carry them inside your heart now, and it feels heavier. And that's what grief is. You've got to get used to carrying that love around you. So thoughts and prayers with you as well. Evening, Mark. Would you go for Chalobah if we can't get De Ligt? I hope Agate is next as well. Look, Cameron, I like Chalobah. There's no doubt about that. But I don't want to go with too many people that are, you know, not first or second choice. And I think, you know, we all know that De Ligt is a player that we need. Andrew Ogden said, you said last season in Bruno's bad vein of form that we could never win the league with the team built around Bruno. Do you still believe that? I think this is a great question, Andrew. It's a great question. And, you know, unlike some people, I'm not a cat. I don't try and bury my shit. I am more than open to discuss things that I've said that people don't agree with or that might be controversial. You know, 2 years ago, I said that Rashford should leave Man United and go to PSG. I didn't think he could buy a good performance. And, you know, people, the following season, he scored a load of goals and people couldn't stop putting the clip out there, calling me toxic, this, that and the other. And then last season, I hardly saw that clip when he was shit again. So, but what people didn't clip from that clip was that I've always liked Rashford. He's been one of my favourite players. I just felt that at that time, 2 years ago, that PSG move just felt like it was the right time for him to go. He didn't go. He scored a load of goals. And then last season, he was bad again. And I said again, you know, maybe now is the time for him to go, but he's not going to go. So he probably will score a load of goals again. I did say with Bruno that I remember doing the video. I did a video on Bruno saying that basically he'd become a problem. And, you know, people don't want to have that conversation because you either love Bruno or you don't. And everyone knows I'm a massive fan of Bruno Fernandes. Like, I was so excited when we bought him, and he is a fantastic player. But nobody should be above criticism. Just because they're one of your favourite players doesn't mean that you can't criticise them. I don't do player FC. And I think there was a point last season where I sort of ran out of patience with Bruno, if I'm being honest. He was playing every single game, not performing very well. Hollywood passes, etc., wasn't really creating, and I was concerned that you look at Odegaard. Odegaard is a ridiculously disciplined number 10, magnetic. He retains the ball, he passes the ball, whereas Bruno's he's not magnetic, he's erratic at times. You know, he plays the Hollywood pass or he shoots from distance, and I just felt that if you want to be consistent, you need a consistent number 10. And is Bruno's style of play at times a little bit inconsistent in the sense that he's a little bit erratic? But would I let Bruno Fernandes leave Manchester United? Absolutely not. I think he's a major player for us. Can we win a league with Bruno? Well, that's something different, isn't it? You know, I don't want Bruno to leave Man United, but do I think we can win the league with Bruno? And that's my point. I'm not a cat. I don't bury my shit. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I hope I'm wrong. But can we win a league with Bruno? Well, we're not going to win the league. We're not winning the league, are we? We're trying to build a team that can get in the top four, and we can get in the top four with Bruno. And can you win a league with Rashford? Can you win a league with Martinez? Can you win a league with Mount? Can you win a league with Garnacho? Well, I know what it takes to win a league. Arsenal can't win the league with Declan Rice and Saka. Like, it's hard to win a league. By the time we're ready to win the league, Bruno will probably have left. So I think Bruno's perfect for now. We don't know whether we can win the league with these players. Do you think we can, when we get more I'll tell you what, it's really good chat tonight. We should do more of these. Ivan says, do you think we can get more midfielders in? We'll see more rest for Bruno against teams we can start mount there. But the thing is about Bruno, Ivan, he doesn't want a rest, does he? He's a robot. Chiri says, hope you're doing well, pal. Should we get a second number 10 as we will play 50 games this season, or do you think Ahmad and Mount could fill out that role in case Bruno leaves? Mount's the second number 10, yeah. Prattbridge, welcome to Members Club. Good name. Well done. Well done. Good stuff. With the fullback situation, if Wan-Bissaka goes, we need to get a left back and a right back. But if he doesn't, I think we'll get away with a left back. SK, we're about to sign a right back. His name's Mazraoui from Bayern Munich. Living in the States is perfect. This is the perfect time, says Jace. Won't feel weird having a beer at 7 p.m. compared to the normal 7 a.m. Philip Nash, welcome to Members Club. And Niki says, I've pre-ordered the book for my lad Jacob for doing the gardening. He's over the moon and said it will be going on his shelf where he keeps his favourite things. I tell you what, I thought there was going to be a punchline there, Niki. But thank you very much for pre-ordering the book. And Jackie says, I'd like to see a front two of Rasmus and Xerxes sometimes. You've got a classic striker in Rasmus and a flair forward in Xerxes who will create and score. Look, I think the exciting thing about Xerxes is that we're not going to see him until that Man City game, are we? Which in a way is quite exciting. But yeah, look, Xerxes the signing we haven't seen yet. Thank you very much for that, Andrew Ogden. Anyway, it was a very, very good question, and we don't want to shirk those sort of things. Hold on a minute. Just going to send this. What am I pressing here? Pressing the wrong buttons here. But I want to see us get some service into Rasmus tonight. His style of play is important. If you tuned in a few minutes late, I was saying a few minutes ago that pre-season to me is almost the flip side of what a normal season is. When we're playing Fulham and Brighton and Liverpool in them first 3 games, I want to take 9 points. You know, performance over results. No, result over performance. But in pre-season, it's more about performance, whether that's individual performance or the way that we play. You know, we've got to start seeing those patterns of play. We beat Arsenal last year, but I don't remember anything about it, you know, impressive-wise in relation to how we play. Tonight, I would like to see, you know, Man United play some better football. Can you change your Scream name to Mike, Goldbridge, says Goldio? Why would I do that? And Outdoor Adventure says, idea for a poll. How many people does Roy Keane have in his pocket? Don't want Stevie Wonder moonwalking through our midfield this season. Delit and Agate are crucial to implement Eric's style of play, says Jasper. Well, it'll be interesting to see how high the line is tonight with Maguire, actually. Maguire playing left-sided centre-back as well, so that's a hint that... you know, he's not getting the position he normally wants. Is signing a new left-back dependent on player sales, says Tech? I think it's also dependent on how well someone like Harry Amas does tonight as well. Yuri the Red says, the game starts at 8 a.m. here in Hong Kong, and I pre-ordered your book this morning. You're a legend, mate. Thank you very much. And Footy Kings pre-ordered it as well. Looking forward to reading it. I'll tell you what, you're some right legends in the show tonight. That community feel. It's Dave Innit with a super chat. Says, hope you don't mind me saying this. I want to thank you and Beth for saving my life. Giving me something to look forward to watching on my darkest days. Sending you massive man hugs, mate. Thank you. Dave, I never stop being amazed by how impactful this community is to people. When I did the Manchester show last year, somebody actually said to me, can you sign your name on my wrist? And then they went and got a tattoo and sent me the image. I mean, the United stand to some people is absolutely massive. Now, some might ridicule that. Some might understand that. But, you know, some people like The One Show. Some people listen to Ronan Keating on Magic Radio. Like, each to their own. You can't knock it because it's really important to some people. So, Dave, I think it's fantastic that... and look, I have days. Yesterday morning, I was in a right mood. And I've had a few this week because I've been tired. But I never don't want to do the 10 o'clock show, and I never don't want to do the 8 o'clock show. It's important to me, this community, and it's nice that it's important to other people as well. Jay Rayner says, having 12,000 people watching at this time, what a community, says Jay. Well, we've got nearly 13,000. I tell you what, most other YouTube channels who do football would be creaming themselves at 10,000 at 5 o'clock when Man United have just signed Messi. It's unbelievable what we've built here. It is unbelievable. 13,600 at 1 a.m. for a pre-season game that's not even kicked off. It's absolutely massive. Thoughts on the away kits as Chance? I like it. I do like it. I'm not massively into kits these days, but I do like it. James Earls, thank you very much for your super chat. And Jack, the Lego Maniac, says, can we get a new badge for members that have been hanging around here for like 60 months? Yes, we will sort that out, Jack. It's a good idea. Let me write it down. It's a legend status badge, really, isn't it? Sky Sports is saying that Dalit and Mazraoui is advancing, says Jamie. Well, maybe that's the morning show sorted. We are apparently 3 minutes away from kickoff, but we're not 3 minutes away from kickoff because I tweeted this earlier that Manchester United's game against Arsenal will actually kick off at 10 past 1 UK time. If you're old school, you'd already know this. This has happened every year for years, that our games end up being played a little bit later than the advertised time. I remember this happening about a decade ago, so don't worry about it. It's going to be slightly late, but that's normal. And there will be a penalty shootout at the end of it as well, which has been confirmed by the powers that be. So yeah, that's going to happen as well. Please do subscribe to the channel. Thanks everyone for tuning in as always. And I've been asked what I think what my score prediction is going to be. In a sense, I think it's irrelevant. I do. The players are in the tunnel there. That's not the players. That's just a bunch of kids. I mean, we have got 17-year-olds playing, but that's too young. That's taking the piss. I mean, there's kids of 5 and 6 here, and there's a lad for Arsenal who looks like he's as big as Lukaku. This is going to be a mismatch. They're obviously the mascots. Yeah, the result doesn't matter. The result really doesn't matter. Arsenal this season will finish above Manchester United in the Premier League, and that doesn't make you disloyal. If we finish above Arsenal this season, something's gone very wrong with Arsenal or very right with Manchester United. So, yeah, I think winning this game would be nice. But as I said, where I want to be, let us know in the chat where you want to be at full time. When I'm doing the match reaction later, I want to be in a position where I'm saying Collier was fantastic, wasn't he? Wasn't Collier fantastic? Wasn't Rashford brilliant in his creativity? Ahmad was superb again. Didn't Rasmus look really sharp? Wasn't the line really high? I mean, some of the interesting stuff we've got coming out from the training ground at the moment is that Ruud has got them working on repetitive scenario finishing. So what this is you just keep doing a certain scenario over and over and over and over again, so that in a match scenario you don't even think about it. Now, there are different coaching styles and everyone gets a bloody hard on about the latest buzzword, but it might work. Maybe some United players overthink it, and if you can get them into those sort of trains of thought, then it'd be interesting to see if our finishing improves. I don't think our finishing's ever been a problem, honestly. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I think even through Solskjaer, we were moments clinical, cynical, whatever you want to call it. I don't think our finishing is the problem at Man United. I think the problem is there's a lot of empty seats still. I think the problem is creativity. We don't create enough chances. There's still a lot of empty seats here. What's going on? Is it not a sellout? Do you just turn up late in America? Turn up when you bloody well like? Is that what you do? But no. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. But also on the goalkeeping, this new goalkeeping coach that we've got, apparently what he's been doing with our goalkeepers, especially Anana, is working on calmness under pressure scenarios. So specifically when the ball is with you and you're being pressed, have the confidence to play out from the back. Now, Onana's whole bloody career has been good at that, but has he just out... Is it just because he's not confident with the players around him? LA Rams and Chargers have empty stadiums quite often, to be fair. LA might be just a basketball town, says Ardy. And European Trey says, are you doing a UFC watch-along? Join me in seeing that Scouse Paddy lose, says European Trey. Chris Gibbs says, 10 a.m. in Australia, a decent time for once, and it's great the US is live for better commentary. Glad Eric Ten Hag is staying. Fingers crossed for a better season, says Chris Gibbs. And Jason says, has to be Rashford's last year at United if he doesn't turn it around. And Chiri says, how important are assistant coaches in the modern day football, and do you think Rude arrival will make a difference? I think assistant coaches are massively important. I mean, if he's watching, it would ruin his weekend. But what's the name of the guy who works with Eddie Howe at Newcastle? Like, he has a massive influence there. Sir Alex Ferguson's assistants had a massive influence as well. Adrian, welcome to the Members Club. And David is happy as well. Kickoff has been delayed until 1:10. It might even go a little bit later because the players aren't even on the pitch at the moment. I bought your book. Best of luck with its release, says Edward V. Are there any specific players you think will get into the first team? More so if lack of funds and sales aren't there this season. And is João Neves, that was from Edward. And is João Neves unlikely now, says SK. Yes, he's going to go to PSG. More dead than the Etihad, Mark, says Brandon. And you drunk yet? Say you will leave your wife for me, says Margot Robbie. I ain't touched a drop since about 8 o'clock. Results in pre-season don't matter. It's to see positive change in individual performance. Exactly, Oliver Barnaby. Absolutely spot on. Welcome to Members Club, Danny O. Players are in the tunnel now. And thank you very much for that. And I think it's due to City games still being on ESPN, says Malks. And Narrative Bridge, says Jason. Delayed, they're still working out what colour skirt Rashford... Oh, can't read that. Nearly did, but we can't. Right, players are in the tunnel now, so we should be kicking off soon. We're about ready for some action here, aren't we? A little less conversation, a little bit action. Players coming out from the tunnel. Mark, I'm due at football at 9 a.m, says Brandon. Well, I've got the 10 o'clock show tomorrow, which I'm thinking about putting back to 11 o'clock. So I'll have a lie-in. This is the stadium we need to build, Mark. Best I've ever seen. Watching the tours, etc. is amazing, says Mandy. And we shouldn't assume... Arsenal will challenge for the Premier League, says Goldio. Well, look, I'm just very excited about the start of this game now. Look, I think that What I want is to see an Arsenal team pass the ball around well. Casemiro captain again. I thought Harry Maguire was captain then for a minute ago, but the MUTV camera guy has to show us Harry Maguire out for 20 seconds of every minute, it seems. So Casemiro is the captain, but you'd think it was Maguire because the MUTV camera guy just can't stop showing us him. I think Amas and Collier starting tonight is somebody asked before, who do you think will be the breakout players? And I think that with those two players starting, those two players are probably the two young players that Ten Hag has got in mind at the moment to potentially break through with Collier. But, Amas was only 17 in March. So, yeah. We've got a penalty shootout. I don't think we've got a penalty shootout after every game, but we have got a penalty shootout today. Sancho, Anthony, McTominay, Ericsson, Evans will all be playing in the second half. There will be a penalty shootout regardless of the result afterwards as well. Please do share the video. It would be stunningly amazing if we got to 20,000 people watching this at 1:10 in the morning in the UK. The community never, ever fails to deliver. Come on, United, says Rob at McCormack. Parker says 16k at 1 a.m. We love Mark. Take the crack. Says take that, Craig. Says Parker. Who's Craig? And I think Timber might be a handful. Says SK. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think Timber's like a new signing for Arsenal, isn't he? Actually. And hi. What would your predictive lineup be for Fulham and how many goals? That's a great question, Danny, actually. Just very, very quickly, my preferred lineup for Fulham, if I get my own way here, would be Onana, Dalot, De Ligt, Martinez, Shaw, Agate, Mainu, Bruno, Ahmad, Rasmus, Garnacho. So you'd drop Rashford, yeah, I bloody would. I'd play Garnacho on the left and Ahmad on the right. But I don't think I'm going to get that team. And I think we all know that Rashford will start. But I'd love to see that team. Love to see that team. Hope you're well, Mark. Much love, Rudolph the Red. I hope you're well, mate. I know the name. Well, I know all the names. But how many? You've been around a long time. I think De Ligt and Agate is a bare minimum for this window, says Nicholas. And thank you very much. Right, we're about ready to go here as well. Why are people telling me about Man City? Couldn't give a shit. Couldn't give a shit about Man City. Nearly 16,000 people watching. There's a share button underneath. Give that a click. Get involved with your comments. And Rashford wasn't working out with a kid that doesn't look good. Also, this transfer window for us hasn't really been that good. Been decent. Okay. You know what? When I think about Arsenal and who they're missing, Gabriel, Calafiori's going to come in, Saka, Rice. They're a better team than us, with a better system than us. But when you look at paper squad, we still retain a good squad. Mark, why not Paul Ince anymore? Thought about it, says Brandon. I've not spoken to Ince in quite a while. I thought I'd lost my stream then. Did anyone else's screen go black there? I was like, what the bloody hell's going on here? Now the camera's just showing the bloody stand. Is anyone else just getting this? What's going on? I'm panicking. I think I'm going to lose my stream. I'm watching the game on a bloody scoreboard here. What's going on? What's going on? I'm looking at Wan-Bissaka on a scoreboard. I can't watch a match like this. Nah. Don't do this. Yeah, we're on MUTV. This is the problem. What's going on? ESPN's fine. MUTV's not. Get ready. Here we go. I think it's going to be fine. Now we're looking at something else. Here we go. We're about ready. And we're off. Lovely stuff. Do you think Rashford will reinvent his game after all these years? I think he is what he is. You're fine. I can see you, says Jordan. That was from Ardy as well. Can you call Ryan Webb and Jordan Higgins a prat, says Steenie? I love it when I get involved in the banter. Your prats, lads. And Sean says, let's hope for a good game, Mark. Love the lives. Watch every one of them. Okay, so we're up and running here. So not to take the piss, but it is important just to keep an eye. There's a lot to keep an eye on tonight. Jamie Wyman, thanks for being a member for 22 months. So Man United with the ball deep here at the moment. Back to Anana. Let's see how we pass out from the back. That's nice. Into Yoro. Wan-Bissaka pushing forward. Long ball from Yoro. And a mistake by Yoro straight away. And could have been 1-0 there. Yoro with the mistake. And then Jesus, I think it was, skipped past Maguire like a bag of cement, but he couldn't get his shot off. So a bit of lack of sharpness all round there. Jordan, welcome to the Members Club. Lil Will is happy, 1 a.m. Going to listen to this while I sleep like most nights. Cheers for the hard work. Happy I'm here for a live. Thank you very much, Lil. Yeah, a little bit scrappy from Man United here. Under pressure, says William. But this was the ball. Yoro gets stuck underneath it. Jesus is in. Skips past Maguire too easy. Actually, it's Yoro who recovery tackle. He makes the mistake, but then I think he makes the recovery tackle. Let's have a look. Yeah, he did. He made the recovery tackle. It was Maguire who got done badly. Would like to see Ince's thoughts on things, says Brandon. Yeah, I mean, it's been a few years since we've had Ince on. I mean, obviously he went to work at Reading. And I think he does talk sport now, actually. Morning, Mark. New player rating system this season. Yes, we're working on it, mate. We should have had it tonight. I'm not happy, but we are working on it. Watch along for the All-Ireland final tomorrow, says Turner. Wouldn't have thought so. And do you have a favourite Serie A team, says Secret Pancake? Well, yes, I do. Juventus has always been my team, but I do like Sampdoria as well. Mancini, Vialli, Lombardo. Please, can you give me a random heckle, says Nathan. No, I'm not in the mood, mate. I am operating on a very robotic sense of humour. I can't freestyle at this time of night. Arsenal starting off with a lot of energy here. Be interested to see if Man United can settle in. They've got the ball wide right again. Obviously, Amas has got the opportunity at left back. It's what time is it for me? 1:15 in the morning. Lot of I think virtually every Man United trainer, including Ten Hag, then was chewing gum. Well done, Collier. Rasmus. Remember, Rasmus only been back in training a week. But that's a foul. That's a foul on Mount. And I think it was Heaven who did it. Probably felt like hell to Mount. So free kick to United. Mount jumping on that error at the back, but yeah, definitely a foul. We need to get a bit of possession going here, Man United, because we've had a bit of a... We've only had 5 minutes, but we don't want to get Arsenal dominating possession. Maguire wins the header. Here's Odegaard. Well done, Maguire. Into Amas. And we win the throw-in. Is it Rasmus's first game in the number 9 shirt, says Wraith? Yes, it is. Robbie says, are you scared for this game? What is there to be scared about? It's a pre-season game. Well in Collier. Nice by Rashford. Here's Mount. Cuts it back. Ahmad! Oh, straight at the keeper. That's the best bit of play we've seen there. Collier, Rashford, Mount, Ahmad. Good play there. Started with Collier winning the ball. Got it into Rashford. First touch into Mount. Cut back to Ahmad. Should probably be scoring that, but didn't really make the connection. But it was nice, nice link-up play, all starting from Collier. Oliver Anderson, welcome to Members Club. You should get together with a local restaurant that make a Goldbridge special called the Pratt Sandwich as Outdoor Adventures. Thank you very much for your super chats there. Maz says, Mars Bar says, do you think Collier will get his chance this season? I think he's already getting it, mate. Look, you can already see that Collier's better than McTominay. End of conversation. No, but you can already look at the way Collier wins this. Nice ball by Rashford into Mount. But you can already see that Collier's better than McTominay as a 6 or an 8 because he can pass. McTominay will be a better advanced midfielder than Collier, but he just gets the ball and plays it lovely. Toad says, is it just me or does Casemiro look leaner? Well, I think the thing about Casemiro is his mobility. That's what you're looking at, really. How mobile is he? Arsenal just passing the ball around the back here. And that should be Maguire's ball. Easy enough. Well done, Amas. Casemiro. Well done, Collier. Good play there. Well done. This is better from United. Passing it around from the back. Good play again. That's not a good ball by Casemiro, though. He needs to be quicker into the feet of Rasmus there. Would you start Ahmad over Rashford this season, says Mally? Well, I don't think there'll be any requirement to because one plays on the right and one plays on the left. I think his plan is to develop Collier to play 2-8s with Mainu, then sell Bruno eventually, then find a CDM, says Mohammed. United keep passing, please, in the season, says SK. Anthony's happy with the way we're playing so far. Well, we've conceded a free kick here for Arsenal to whip a cross in. I mean, yeah, there's been a couple of plays out from the back there. Maguire gave it into Amas. Collier had it, went to Onana, played it back to Casemiro, and probably one of the simpler passes, he didn't make it. But as I was talking about with the new goalkeeping coach, they've definitely been working with Onana on, you know, taking his time, inviting the pressure and then playing the pass sometimes. And remember, we've got this set piece coach as well that won't have started work yet, but that's another aspect to that where there's some easy wins to be had. Arsenal on the attack. Good play by Arsenal. Good save by Onana. And an offside anyway. Why is it at 1 AM? Says Seamus. Because it's been played in LA, mate. I think it's in LA. It's what time is it in LA? 5 PM? Come on. I'll give it to Yoro. That's the ball. Play out front and back. There's Maguire. Yeah, it's 20 past 5, but the game kicked off at 5 o'clock. That's what I'm trying to say. Nice ball over the top. Rasmus. Oh, lovely play by Rasmus. Yeah, get in. 1-0 to Manchester United. And it's Rasmus. He's taken 10 minutes to score his first goal in the number 9 shirt. Didn't he do well? Lovely strength, lovely individualism, and that'll shut up a lot of twats who are twats. Really strong striker play there. Reminded me of sort of prime Alan Shearer, the way he held off the striker and the centre-back. I tell you what, it's just one ball over the top from Rashford. Keeper's not done that great from there, but he's bullied number 76. I think it's heaven. Well, it ain't heaven for him. It's he's knocking on heaven's door, but no one's answering. Well, maybe they are. That might be the end of his career. But it's a lovely finish by Højlund. It's just pure strength. Pure strength. The ball over the top. Strength, speed, direct. Proper number 9's goal, that. And Rasmus makes it 1-0 to Manchester United. It was an assist by Rashford, actually. Yeah. Atmosphere sounds absolutely abysmal, says Lewis. Well, I don't have to listen to it. Vinay says, I'm proud to be a part of the members club of this great community. Love the show, Mark. Lovely to see Collier on the pitch. Has a good future. And Rasmus scores, says Muriaki. And what's your outlook on our transfer window so far? And where do you think we will finish, says Oliver Anderson. It needs to get better, mate. Needs to get better. Thanks for all the content, Mark. Here's to top 4, says Sam. And Tony and Amas look like they could walk into the first team considering how bad we were last season, says Carl. Appreciate that. Christopher Hind, welcome to the Members Club. Appreciate that as well. So Man United leading 1-0 here. Opportunity on the break is there again. Ahmad. And Maguire trying to get Rashford in. United looking good on the break. And here's Wan-Bissaka. And look at the pace of Rasmus into the middle if they get this cross right. Oh, very close. Lovely play. Look at the speed of Rasmus there. He could have had 2. Yes, it's only pre-season, but look at the pace here. And it's good play by Wan-Bissaka. Good cross. I think Rasmus probably should score. Yeah, I mean, he probably would have expected to do a little bit better there. Much love from Sydney, Mark. Any news on McTominay to Fulham or Wan-Bissaka to West Ham? And we need to get Algarate and Dalit in ASAP, says Aussie Devil. Well, hopefully over the next few days we will see that. Oh, what's gone wrong here? Rasmus down. We are passing the ball well. I really hope we have a recognised style of play this season, says Daily Hibbert. Rooney says, have you been drinking to keep yourself awake? No. And even Evan says, what are you looking for out of United out of this? And Jordan says Rasmus. Well, look, I'm a bit worried about this here. If this is an injury for Rasmus, this is. Well, he's coming off. Well, what I would say about Rasmus is that he was making some really explosive runs. And I think he's probably I don't know. It's hard to say what he's done there that might be causing him any problems. Didn't look hamstring. Maybe it was hamstring. What? Yeah, I think he did say hamstring. It's the turf mark, says a Toro. And Hat says, playing a friendly on AstroTurf is pure lunacy. Well, Hannibal's come on here, which is weird. Infinite Gaming says, call Fabrizio Romano because here we go with another injury. I had hoped that it's like hello darkness, my old friend, isn't it? I had hoped that we would be turning a corner, but, you know, it's just that feeling that we had so regularly last season, isn't it? That utter despair of, you know, helplessness. We have got Xerxes, but here's Ahmad. Good block. Collier. United still moving the ball around nicely, though. Here's Amas into Rashford. Seems to be looking for the pass more, Rashford. I mean, I know it's early days, but he does seem to be looking for the pass. Amas looking good as well, says E. Wilco in the live chat. And Rams and Chargers also struggle with injuries. Might be the turf, says Ardy. Well, precautionary surely, just a friendly, protect him, says Marriott. Yeah, 100%, get him off the pitch. But it didn't look like the worst injury in the world. Let me just say that. I'm probably be able to find out in the next 24 hours what's actually happened. But the look, we're going to pick up injuries. We can't just say it's bad luck. We can't just say it's the injury curse. We will have injuries. Teams do get injuries. But looking at what happened with Rasmus, it wasn't one of those where he's clearly done his hamstring or clearly done his groin. I think he's probably felt something, and it's probably the end of his tour, if we're being honest. I don't think he'll play again on the tour, but it's still 2 weeks till we play Man City and 3 weeks till we play Fulham. So I'd be pretty confident that it's not a bad tear or anything like that. And you'd be pretty confident he'll be back for the Man City game, to be honest. But look, we'll have to wait and see. But apparently, these pitches, it is grass on top of turf, so it's not ideal. But we'll find out. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. I've got 20,000 people watching at 1:30 in the morning for a pre-season game. Man United 1-0 up. Rasmus with the goal. Very good goal. Shrugged off the defender and finished it. Strong, direct and quick. He's now gone off with a bit of an injury and Hannibal's come on. But apart from that, some nice little bits of play from Man United. Rashford's played some good passes. Mount, Collier. Ahmad, we've looked quite sharp. Odegaard's just gone down. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're only 200 away from 902,000. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Odegaard's down injured here as well now. Don't want to be picking up injuries in pre-season. Nobody does, but Casemiro fouled him. 77% of you would have Dalot starting over Mazraoui, by the way. I forgot about that one. Can you say Coombs is a prat? Love the show, says Oliver. Ty says, what was your last dream? I don't remember, mate. Would have been something last night. I do dream a lot. J4 says, hope it's nothing serious for Rasmus. I'm starting to think the number 9 jersey is actually a curse. Playing some good stuff so far, though. Muriaki says, Rashford looks fresh. A lot of people very happy with Amas as well. Remember, he's only 17. I've said that a million times, I know. Surely Odegaard's not coming off as well. No, he's still on. I tell you what, talking about away kits, I mean, when I look at football kits these days, I do tend to just say, oh, that's quite nice. I do quite like the old Lynx Africa kit that Arsenal have got. Their new one. You know, the red, green and black. I've been a huge critic of Rashford. Oh, God, Cole, please don't. Cole's about to expose himself as a complete and utter prat here. Cole, do you want me to read it? Because it is a super chat. I feel I have to, but I already know you're going to do something stupid like say, Rashford looks like he's back after 20 minutes of a pre-season game. But look, let's read it. Let's be fair. Cole says, I've been a huge critic on Rashford and I realise it's pre-season, but if he keeps showing leadership, being there for his teammates, I'm all in. What the fuck? Noman says, would you do a collab with... Oh, what? The guy who keeps slagging me off doing indirects, who I met to his face and he shit himself? Yeah, I'd love to do that. Actually, I would. I would do it, actually. Just to... He would never dare do it. But I'm fully aware of his little indirects. I'm here for a Toxic Sunday, says Parker. I suppose it is Sunday, isn't it? Yeah. And where do you see Xerxes playing and over who, says MX? Well, we've got to get Xerxes in first. I think let's see where we are with this Rasmus injury first. But because if Rasmus was injured, then Xerxes would need to play up front, wouldn't he? Collier in there with the tackle. Can't tackle like that anymore, even though he won the ball. Really does remind me of Stefan Effenberg. You've got to be a certain age, but it's uncanny. It's uncanny. Hannibal in the team playing up front. He'll be going. Hannibal's gone anyway, isn't he? He's out of contract in the summer. He's basically just putting himself in the shop window. And I think the reason he didn't bring Wheatley on is because he wants Wheatley to play with Sancho and Anthony in the second half. So good play by Arsenal here. Oh, he sent Maguire to the shops. Jesus sent him to the shops there, but we've managed to get rid of it. Toad says, Hannibal's over-eager and lacks composure. And Pablo says, hi, Mark, I'm American. Is Mary Poppins true to life in England? Yes, yes. So basically, when I'm not doing live streaming, I put on my chimney sweep clothes and I go and sweep chimneys, dancing around as well with a Cockney accent, singing songs about... stepping in time and, you know, spoonfuls of sugar and all that. If you watch the film Mary Poppins, that's basically what it's like in England every single day. Our favourite song is Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And we've all got a nanny that can fly with an umbrella. Miles says, I've been looking at last season and I'm blown away how much McTominay gets in Rasmus's way. When he has space in the box, he's top class. And Taco says, hey, Mark, this message is for the community. I've got one ticket for the game against Liverpool. I'm 18, so if anyone is interested, DM me. ta.co to goal. Goal for Arsenal. I don't think it's going to be offside. It's been coming. Jesus has given Maguire a right run around. Looked a bit offside, though. Let's have a look. I think he's offside. There's no VAR, but I think he was offside. It's been given pre-season, innit? Yeah. What's your happiest ever memory of United? It's so predictable, mate. 99. Solskjaer. Damien Lloyd says, watching Maguire still in this team is getting offensive now. As agile as a double-decker bus with flat tyres going up a hill with the handbrake on and 30 hippos. Yeah, I added all that stuff. That wasn't actually Maguire's fault. He'd attached himself to Amas, but the point still remains that that Maguire has been given the runaround by him. Hi, Mark. Who do you see as our next outgoing, says Danny. It's definitely offside. Look, you can see. It's miles offside. Miles offside, Richard says. He's absolutely miles off. Who's bloody off? Who's doing the offsides? Caleb says, can you say hi to Dave? He's a virgin. Thanks, says Caleb Reeves. Sorry. He says, can you say hi to Dave? He's mega. Thanks. Sorry. Good shot. Mount. Good save. Tristan said, I'd take Mary Poppins over Maguire. For years, you've been saying you're coming to the USA, says Chris. I know I was meant to come this year as well. Good play by Ahmad. Slips into Mount. Straight at the keeper. Difficult angle. Ahmad's been impressive again. I think Rashford's done well when he's got the ball. Mount as well. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Lovely pass by Ahmad, says Oscar. Ticket to come with me versus Liverpool. DM ta.co 2027. What platform's that though, Taco? If you want a ticket for the game against Liverpool to go with Taco, DM him at ta.co 2027, but I don't know what platform that is. Morgan says, what's the hardest part of the job? Seems like you're always live. United stand really smashing it at the moment, says Morgan. You know what? It's a good question. I don't really know what the hardest part of the job is because I've been doing it for so long now. But somebody said to me the other day, you don't get any, you can't get any sort of home life. I've got 3 kids. Seb's 7. United Stan was 3 years old when we had Seb. I've not missed anything of his upbringing. You know, newborn baby and that. You can have a life and stuff is what I'm saying. I still get down the pub regularly, get to go to the cinema and stuff. The honest answer is I don't actually have to do what I do anymore. I don't need to do as much as I do anymore, but I enjoy doing it. And while I enjoy it, I'll keep doing it. You know, I don't have to be watching watch-alongs at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I enjoy it. And so many of you are getting up at doing it for proper games that I just think, you know, this is the team that we follow, isn't it? I might not agree with some of the players that are at the club. I might not agree with some of the decisions, but it's an addiction, isn't it? Commentary on ESPN is a joke. They said clearly onside, says Emma. Look, I mean, it's a pre-season game. I'm not massively bothered, but it looked like it was offside to me. Clinton says, hi, Mark. It's early, but what's your table prediction for United at the end of the season? And Clinton's from South Africa. I think we've got to be in the top 4, mate, but there's still a hell of a lot that needs to be done from the transfer window. Ayman, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. And Gary Smith, welcome to... says love the show. And Sean says, Anana is much more of a liability than Maguire. Bring David De Gea back. Pleased with Mount's overlaps and runs, says SK. Morgan Tom says, what's the hardest part of the job? No, thanks for that. We've had a couple of good questions tonight. I've enjoyed them. What was that other one we had earlier? If you want to get one of these, by the way, it's just come out on our United Stand Shopify page. I think it's pinned in the live chat as well. I haven't really... That's a good question there. I mean, I haven't really... Thinking about... There's a drinks break going on here. Thinking about the players, I haven't really noticed a lot from Yoro. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. There was that mistake at the start, but he did make the recovery tackle. I think Maguire has looked a bit rusty for his first game back. Amas has done well. Wan-Bissaka's been steady. Casemiro, okay. Collier's been decent. Mount's been decent. Rashford's not been on the ball enough, but when he's had it, he's looked sharp. Rasmus looked really sharp before he went off. Ahmad's looked good when he's had the ball as well. And that would be my assessment of it so far. Billy's absolutely leathered. If you would keep one, would you rather keep McTominay or Maguire? I'd rather keep Maguire, yeah. JK picks gifted a membership. You're a legend, mate. Mark Wilkins says thank you. Thank you to you, sir. JK's gifted 5 memberships, actually. And Yoro's injured now. For fuck's sake, mate. I mean, I'm speechless. I mean, I can't. Is he coming off or what? And so it begins, says the chat. Yeah. MX says, I know it's a friendly, but I just can't do American commentary. I think he's still on, isn't he? Is he on or off? Mario's tired of the freaking curse. What's going on? He's gone off. He has gone. Well, in context, Arsenal have taken nobody off injured. We've played half an hour and we've lost 2 of our better players in Yoro and Rasmus. This person on the AstroTurf is an absolute disaster. Second injury and only 30 minutes, says James. And Jackie Boy, somebody to do an internal investigation into the physios, man. I'm convinced they just sit on their ass playing Candy Crush. Number 7 shirt will curse this team until it's lifted, says Parker. Jamie says Bayern have just upped their asking price for De Ligt. And Man United trying to break last season's injury record, says Brian. Well, Harry Maguire's smile just went bigger by an inch. Ahmad's injured now. Zuteng says Yoro didn't train yesterday, but Egghead plays him. And Niki says Yoro injury looks serious from his own reaction. A lot of people in the chat are saying it's the pitch. Well, I suppose the only positive I would say is that, you know, Ineos are here now. And Eamon says, I haven't got the balls for another cursed season. Keep or sell, Casemiro says 4v. Brian Gallagher says, a Man United trying to break last season's injury record. I mean, it's a bit of a dampener, isn't it? If we're being completely honest. Rasmus has gone off. Yoro's gone off. Yoro's did look a lot worse. And Arna's out there sweeping. Benson says, why is it always the good players? Why can't it be McTominay or Maguire? Kevin says, this can't be real. Same again. It's the one thing none of us were talking about before the game, was it? You know, we want to see some good individual play. Be nice to get a couple of goals, but no one was thinking it'd be nice if everyone was still fit at half time. Another centre-back may become more important now, Mark, says Jose. Well, it also means that Maguire's got it right again, hasn't he? Hang around and I'll end up being a first-teamer. Why do they play on these pitches? It's stupid, says 5 Cantonars. And Andy Wilson says, do you think Keane would have stayed as captain like Robbo did during the 80s when we were struggling? I don't know, Andy. Do you think he would have done? I don't know. It's hard to answer that question, really. The pitch might be horrible, but how have there only been injury worries for United and not Arsenal, says Bart. And Vincent says, do you think Gary O'Driscoll, former Arsenal club doctor, is to blame for so many injuries? We used to get many injuries, but not as much since he left, says Vincent, who I think is an Arsenal fan. Collier, upgrade on Amrabat. This is why De Ligt for backup. I love from Dublin, says Gary Smith. And Kevin says, this can't be real. It's same again. Chris Kyle says, it's because of the artificial surface. These kind of injuries happen all the time in the NFL. I'm from America and you see these all the time. 4-3-2-1 this season with Xerxes added to the team, says Callum. And Andre says, I called it earlier, Mark. Sorry for the jinx. Samuel Hewitt, welcome to Members Club. And Brian says, do you think Casemiro being captain hints that he's staying? Surely Ten Hag would captain someone else. Lovely bit of sweeper keeping there from Anana. And a fantastic ball out to Ahmad. But not a great ball by Ahmad. Goes out for a throw-in. The biggest prat of the evening goes to Hyans, who says this is happening because Ten Hag is playing these players too hard. Look, I don't control what people type, but that's one of the worst comments I've ever read. So we're getting injuries because the manager is working the players too hard. Do you know what pre-season's about, mate? The whole point of pre-season is to work hard to get your fitness levels up to get you through the season. You're meant to work hard in pre-season. Why are the players getting injured in a game scenario and not in the training then? This is not training. This is a match. This is happening. Still using players from the old regime in pre-season years later, says LT99. I don't see the play. How did the injury on Yoro happen, says Brian. I didn't see it either, mate. I don't know what it was. Evans and Maguire are starting against City, says Eamon. Will Fish is on with Maguire at the moment anyway. But Arsenal, since the 2 injuries, Arsenal have really took control of this game, which is a shame. We've done nothing since Rasmus went off because Hannibal has done fuck all. EMK says, let's keep calm, wait for the update, then worry. Right now, enjoy the match. Mate, this has to be a joke, says Stuart. Someone cursed us 15 years ago, no clue who, but these injuries rarely ever happened back in the day. Thanks, Stuart, for your super chat. And Clinton Kennedy says, just want to say thanks for your dedication and hard work making the United stand. As fans, we appreciate you and all the work that happens behind the scenes of your channel. Thank you, Clinton. Really appreciate that. Well, it's been a bit flat since the injuries, really. Bennett's on, not for Yoro, not Fish. We are a lot of people talking about the pitch, but we are playing on grass. They laid grass down on top of the Astro. Ardy says, always thought NFL players were too soft, complaining about the turf, but they may be onto something. I don't know whether you've ever played, but like if you put grass down on top of Astro, it's not stable. There'll be movement. That was good play by Casemiro. Bloody hell, better sub mount now, says Wayne. And Daniel Hodgson says, it's nice to be watching you at 11 AM rather than 3 AM. Love from Australia, mate, and love the community. Hope you're well, Daniel. Reese is tuned in from Sri Lanka. Do a UFC watch along in Manchester at 3 AM. I don't follow UFC, mate, so I don't really know what it's all about. But I'll still be live doing this at 3 o'clock. And do you think a midfield trio of Collier, Mainu and Bruno is realistic, says Marco? No. I think Collier will be more of a backup. This always happens on tour. This never happened against Rosenborg and Rangers, and last pre-season against Leon moment we go on tour, it goes to shite, says Jackie Boy. Third season under the manager and still no style, says Zootung. And it didn't take you long, did it? 1-1 against Arsenal after 43 minutes, and you're talking about sacking the manager again. Fucking hell. Just say it from the start, mate. Stop trying to get people on your side. Azan, welcome to Members Club. Thank you. Connor says, love from Ohio. Love the channel. Thank you very much, Connor. Brian Gallagher says, I can see Lindelof, Maguire, McTominay all staying because they won't want to go, and Ten Hag will still want quantity over quality after last year. Easy cop-out for Ineos to claim not to be able to sell these players, says Brian. Who got the goal, says Daniel. Jesus for Arsenal, Rasmus for Man United, but he's gone off. Jordan says, anyone who says the manager is working the players too hard and it's causing the injuries is a prat. Oh, yeah, 100%. And hopefully the Yoro injury is a ploy for another centre-back, says Keane. Very much doubt it. I tell you what, Mount seems to be taking a lot of tackles as well. It's been a weird half. And it's drawing to a close. But it has been a weird one. And Hannibal's been a complete and utter waste of time, unfortunately. And it's made it difficult for us to build any sort of momentum when you've got a number 9 that's quick like Rasmus, then you bring Hannibal on, who's really just an average 10. But I don't think Ten Hag really wanted to be making changes to his plans for the second half. Still 3 minutes to be added on here. Does Amas remind you of Shaw? Yes, MT90. I mean, a lot of people have been mentioning that for quite a while. You can definitely see, you know, Shaw similarities, and that's not a bad thing. The fitness team needs changing, says Paul. And Malk says, everyone's overreacting. Their offers a precaution. I think Yoro's looked worse, but we're only playing the guessing game. Zooting says, I love you, but the manager doesn't get a fresh start. This isn't his first season. Stop pretending we didn't finish 8th. No, I remember that we won the FA Cup, mate. I can play this all day. If you want the manager out, then I'm sorry, we're going to disagree massively. I just don't get where you're coming from with that. Why you'd be so negative at the start of a new season, I don't get it. But, you know, I can play this game all day. Robble says, I'm sorry, but what's the point of Hannibal with him surely leaving? Would you have rather have seen Sancho play false 9 or Rashford shift with Anthony on? I just think I do understand that, Robble, but I think he's obviously got a plan for the second half that he didn't want to mess about with. Very pleased with Collier, says SK. Lucas, why didn't we bring Wheatley on? I think for the same reason. Iron says we'll probably be at this rate. We'll probably be bringing Ben Mee over. And thoughts on Gio Queiroz from Sporting? Well, we're not signing him, Jollers. And how scary is it that we're already playing players out of position? Scary times ahead, says Brian Gallagher. Ooh, that was it. Lay it off. Fat Boy says, Rasmus looks more confident taking players on. You do realise he's not been on the pitch for about half an hour. And Nat says, we've been useless since the sub. Yeah, Hannibal's been a waste of time up front, to be honest. But he won't be on in the second half. I mean, Rashford's just not been in the game, has he? Ever since Rasmus came off, he's not been in the game. Graveyard shift. That's the half-time whistle. Yeah, I mean, I'd agree. I agree with what Nat says. I think since the substitution of Rasmus and bringing Hannibal on up front, it sort of changed our ability to transition quickly. It was a good goal by Rasmus. I think the Arsenal equaliser was probably slightly offside, but it matters not in pre-season, if we're being honest. Just looking at the Rasmus goal back here, real strength and pace. I mean, look, it's not a very good centre-back for Arsenal, is it, at the end of the day? But it's a good goal by Rasmus. He then goes off injured when it could have been 2-0. And we stick Hannibal up front, and it really stunted us. You know, I thought there'd been good moments from Mount and Ahmad and Rashford, but after Rasmus came off, they didn't seem to get on the ball anywhere near as much. Defensively, I think Maguire's looked very, very rusty. There was a couple of times that Jesus turned him around. Amas has done quite well, certainly for his age. Wan-Bissaka's been steady. Yoro was doing okay before the injury. His injury is a concern, of course. But, you know, 1-1, it's been quite an equal game, hasn't it? I just think, you know, it just leaves you feeling a little bit flat because Arsenal walk off the pitch with the same 11 players that started the first half, and we walk off the pitch with Yoro and and Rasmus off, and you just think, you know, we've had a season of this already. We can't have another season like this. So it's, yeah. Ben Max, I'll come back to your super chat in a minute. They need to tour Australia. Our pitches are better, says Ryan. And Zimley says, how are all of the USA turf pitches still being played on after all the issues in the Copa America, says Smilly. And Name says, this reminds me of last season when we made changes. Our play falls off a cliff. We need the squad to be ready for the first game. And Mark, why is Jesus such a crybaby, says Spooky Slayer. Ben Max says, I've just watched Peter Kay tonight and now Man United pre-season with a pot noodle and PJs. This is the life. Hope you're well. Hope you're well as well, Ben. Michael Pedley, welcome to Members Club. And am I the only one that isn't excited by Xerxes, says MM? No, I just think because we're not going to see Xerxes play for a couple of weeks, it's I think there's a bit of patience there, isn't there? 5 Cantonars says Martinez hasn't come, has he? No, Martinez isn't going to be part of the US tour. Arsenal have been very dirty, says Jackie. Thank you very much for that. And Yoro looks like he's got an ACL tear, and a few people have been saying that looks like he's out all season. It's 6th to 9th. Jackie boy, come on. You can't be saying stuff like that. Do you think Yoro's done his ACL, Rasmus his groin, says Jitonga? And I mean, is that really the rumour going round? Because I've not seen anything that makes me think that that's an ACL. You don't walk around going like this. No, I don't think so. Casemiro's passing is so bad. And Thomas says the difference between our starters and bench is huge. Sven says start, bench, sell, Chris Smalling, Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire. Well, I always liked Chris Smalling. So I would sell Evans, bench Maguire and start Smalling. Yeah, I'm not having that. I'm not having that, really. I'm just looking at the footage of him. He's definitely hobbling. It's always difficult with a hobble. But I'm not having that it's an ACL. I mean, I think that's you wouldn't be able to diagnose that quickly anyway. But you know, in the absence of security, we'll just have to wait and see. But it did look more serious than Højlund. I think Højlund looked like he was. I'm just looking at some footage here. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's knee. Yeah. Hobble. Yeah, definitely hobbling. Hard to predict what that could be, but you can't be saying it's an ACL. It's way too early for that. Timber tore his ACL first game for Arsenal, walked around and went to half time, came back and was taken off. Hope for the best, says Sam. Oh yeah, I know it could be an ACL, but what I'm saying is, why are people going to the very, very extreme? There's no need for that. But I think what we have to say is that he's probably not going to be fit for the start of the season, and you know that would be the concern with Rasmus as well. Mark, if we get De Ligt, what's our best centre-back duo, says Eamon. I think De Ligt and Martinez would be our best. Player coming off in pre-season could mean anything. They come off for the slightest knock, says Patrick. Mount's going to show his worth this season, says Robert McCormack. Do you think Højlund injury looks serious? Also, I've pre-ordered your book. I can't wait, says James Gallagher. Thank you very much for pre-ordering it, mate. And could this work in our favour? More signings, maybe, says Adam. And That is the rumour. Bloody hope it's not. And he's just pulled something and will be out for at least a couple of weeks, says Jackie. Why are people complaining about the pitch, Mark, says Franklin. Arsenal is also playing on the same pitch. Some of our players are still not good enough technically. Rashford being Rashford again, says Terence. I mean, look, genuinely don't think the wingers got anywhere near enough of the ball, but more challenging opposition. I'll give player ratings on half-time, actually, in a minute. Hi again, Mark. If you were to raise 50 to 60 million in sales, what 2 to 3 positions and players would you target? Well, I'm not going to get much for 50 to 60 million, mate. I want De Ligt. You know, I'm not going to start pissing about. I want De Ligt. I definitely want De Ligt now. 2 a.m, Mark, going hard. Love the streams, mate. What's your top 4 prediction? I can't do these, Lunda. I can't. How can I predict top 4 when I don't know who's buying who and everybody's basically got the same squad as last year? I want Man United to be in the top 4. That's what I want Man United to be in this season. But the problem with predictions are that it's very difficult to predict because you don't know what the situation's going to be. And we've already had a glimpse of our biggest issue last year, injury. And, you know, if Yoro was injured for 6 months and Rasmus was injured for 6 months, I wouldn't put us in the top 4. So we've got to be realistic as to we just can't be having all this again. Does your book ship worldwide? I'm in Kuwait. Love the community and the channel. It does, AH. You can scan the QR code to go through to all the different places you can pre-order it from. You can get it on Audible on Amazon, audio book on Amazon, or you can get it shipped worldwide on Amazon as well. You look like Yoro looked like he had tears in his eyes. Hope it's not a serious injury, says Kelvin. Yeah, but he's 18 years of age. You might have tears in your eyes. Don't look like an ACL to me. That just looks like an injury where he knows he's done something. Look, he might just be upset because he knows he's going to miss a few weeks. Do you think Yoro is going to the Olympics with the injury, says Zenon? Haters are annoying. Style was amazing before the injury, says Tok. Rashford, his terrible self again. Mount very good, says Quinn. Calvin said that. Mark, I'm at the game right now. Young players look, and Mount ain't looking bad either. Neither hope injuries to players ain't bad. Taken off precautions as Trigger. And Ashwin says, just did my ACL and going for surgery tomorrow. It's one of the most depressing and challenging injuries to go through. Thanks for the content, says Ashlyn, and good luck with your recovery. If Yoro misses a few games, it might put pressure on us to buy De Ligt, says Fishcake. And don't worry, guys. Lenny just texted me. He's just pissed off playing beside Maguire. And Kazi slow-mo, which is Brian Gallagher. Look, half-time player ratings, because they're going to go off now, aren't they? So we won't see them at second half, so I'll give them that. Will your book be available in other languages, says Sven? Not as far as I'm aware of. I don't think so. So, basically, Anana could only get a 6. Not really had a lot to do. Wan-Bissaka 6. Amaz, for a 17-year-old, I'd probably give him a 6.5. Maguire, probably a 5. Looked a bit rusty, to be fair. First game back from injury, first pre-season game as well. Yoro, probably a 6, if I'm being honest. Casemiro, 6. Collier, 6.5. Mount, 6.5. Ahmad, 6.5. Rashford, 6.5. And Rasmus, before he was taken off, probably give him a 6.5 as well. So, yeah, nobody really excelling, but I think the injury disrupted us a lot. I think there was a few players that could have been close to pushing to 7s. Rasmus, Mount, Collier. But I think we were just disrupted by the injury to Rasmus, really. What does Mount have to do to start in the Premier League, says MT90? Well, I don't know what... I don't understand the question. What do you mean, what does he have to do to start in the Premier League? He has to sit on the bench, stay fit, and wait for his chance. Who does he think he is? We've got Bruno Fernandes, who's fit every fucking week. He's got to wait. It's pre-season, mate. He's got to stay fit, and then he's got to wait for his chance, and then he's got to deliver, and then he's got to win his place. Yoro is upset because it's probably his first injury in professional football, and it's a new feeling, says Ashworth. And Carmine says, Mark, with what you've seen this pre-season, what kids do you think will play this season? Too early, Carmine. Way too early. But I think Collier is definitely going to be part of the plans. And, Amas hasn't done himself any harm, has he? What does Mount have to do that? Watching on MUTV or ESPN, Mark, says Matthew. I wouldn't know how to watch it on ESPN, so I'm on MUTV, Matthew. SK says he's limping like ankle, to be honest, but either way, fingers crossed for Yoro, Ahmad, and Wan Combese has been decent, says SK. I actually agree, but pure speculation. The way he was limping, I was trying to think, when I'm limping, how do I limp? Because I've had knee injuries and I've had ankle. I did my ankle at Anfield actually in May, and I'd be walking more like that with an ankle than I would with a knee. When I've done my knee badly, I wouldn't be limping like that, really. But look, I don't know. I think it is knee, but it could be ankle. Hi, Mark. Great to finally see you live. Hello from Hawaii, says Stephen Gallagher. This will be a good year for United. Feeling positive and pumped. Thank you very much, mate. Would you rather keep Lindelof over Maguire? Yes, I would. And Yoro rolled his ankle over the ball, says Gatonga. And who narrates your audiobook, Mark? Me, Veghorst. I did it. And Riley says Yoro injury looks to be the ankle. And Paddy says the new Varane, they said they didn't know what they were. I know what you mean, yeah. Those free kicks with Maguire in the mix is creativity from Man United, says Sean. And I've torn my ACL twice. Both times I needed to be taken out. I could not even walk. I don't think it'll be ACL. Pray, people, pray, says Ernesto. You can do your ACL and walk with it, though, as people quite rightly said with Timber last season. And Shane says, already players dropping. What the fuck is going on? Sick of seeing Maguire and Casemiro missing most passes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right hand corner. We're heading towards 902,000. We're only 8 subscribers away from 902. 1.902 on the road to 2 million. Thanks, everyone. Please do subscribe. Get involved. We're doing every US Tour game as a watch-along. We're live every morning at 10, every night at 8. Hopefully, we will be able to get a word with Rasmus or somebody after the game later and ask them what the situation is. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that. But second half is about to come out. Presumably, 45 minutes, he'll change it. Be a different team in the second half. We'll see Sancho, Anthony, McTominay, Eriksen. Might be a difficult second half for Man United, though, because if you look at the bench for Arsenal, if they're going to change their team at half-time, you've got the likes of Havertz and Gabriel, Martinelli. They've got some good players in their team for the second half, so I don't think we'll see any of Man United's first half team players coming out. I think we'll start to see that on Wednesday. Remember, Ten Hag was talking about the Betis game, so we'll see how that develops. But take Hannibal off and put Rude on, Mark, says Terence. Johnny says he pointed to his ankle to a player on the way off. Yeah, I think we're starting to establish that it might be his ankle. Jake Campbell says Yoro did a lap around the whole pitch instead of going straight down the tunnel, which is a good sign. And the tickets are for pre-season game versus Liverpool, says Taco. Instagram is taco, ta.co 2027. Great job, Mark, with the daily content. Taco's got a ticket. It is an ankle. A lot of people are saying that. Everyone is suddenly a medical expert, I guess, as to if he's done his ankle, he's probably out for a couple of weeks, unless it's ligament damage, in which case it could be longer than that. But we'll just have to wait and see. But look, what I want to make very clear here is it doesn't matter whether it's 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. It's just the injury thing that is really irritating. It's become like it's a trigger point, isn't it, for Man United fans, because we just can't seem to move past it. And you know, the two players that have got injuries are not players that you can't say, well, we shouldn't have bought Rasmus at 20 and we shouldn't have bought Yoro at 18. You're never going to know people are injury prone at that point, are you? So it's just the widespread nature of our injuries. It's hard. EMK says, I'm trained physio for 7 years. I do not think it's an ACL. I reckon it's a muscular skeletal, in my opinion. So there you go. And if De Ligt comes and our whole back line has minimal injuries and we have the same goalkeeper problems, do we move the goalkeeper on, says Matthew. Right, we're about to start the second half here. McTominay is on. Wheatley's on. Ahmad's on. Anthony's on. First look at Anthony. See what he's all about. Are we going ref or what? Here we go. Matthew Morton. I don't know what you're talking about the goalkeeper, Matthew. Johnny says he pointed to an ankle on the way off. I think we read that one as well. Ethan Johnson's gifted 5 memberships, by the way. Thank you very much. And Joffin says, love your content. As always, let's be positive. Well, this is a second half opportunity to look at a different set of players here. I don't know whether they've updated the team yet. Yeah, that's not completely updated yet. It will do, I think, in a moment. Trying to figure out here. We've changed our whole team, but I think Arsenal have kept some of their players on, haven't they? Always takes a few minutes. Look, Sancho's definitely on for Rashford. Anthony's definitely on for Ahmad. Wheatley's definitely on. McTominay and Eriksen and they're on the midfield. Onana's stayed in goal. Johnny Evans is on for Maguire. I think Onana's the only one to stay on. Jim Armu, thanks for welcome to Members Club. Ethan Johnson's gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Ethan. You're a legend. Arsenal have definitely kept some players on because Zinchenko's still on. I think Jesus is still on for them as well. Odegaard's still on. It's interesting how Arsenal don't take everybody off, but we do after 45 minutes. I'm not a big fan of taking everybody off after 45 minutes. I never have been. I think it's almost too soon for some players to get taken off, but I think they've only made 2 subs here, Arsenal. Heaven and Nwaneri off, and Kivior and Salah on. So Arsenal have only made 2 changes. Whereas Man United have made 10. So Man United's second half team: Onana, Oyedele, Murray, Fish, Evans, Eriksen, McTominay, Scanlon, Wheatley, Anthony, and Sancho. So Oyedele playing in the midfield again. A lot of people were very impressed with him against Rangers. I think Scanlon must be playing at right back. Let me just double check. Anthony, that was, wasn't it? Crap little flick. Kelly says, good morning, Mark. Having watched my beloved Liverpool yesterday morning, and because I'm still up today, I thought it's only right to tune into United's game. Hope you have a good supply of coffee. I'm off. I want to go to sleep after this, Kelly, so I'm going to stay off the coffee, but it is a good idea to do that. Yoro's injury is an ankle, says Judd, and everyone agrees that Onana was subpar last year. If he doesn't improve and has no one to blame, injuries in backline, for example, do we move him on, says Matthew Morton. I haven't really thought about it, Matthew. I think it is something to look at next season. I mean, there's so many other things that need to be done in this transfer window, ins and outs, that I think there's a lot of players, you're right, that need to be, you know, it's make or break season for them. But at the moment, I'm more thinking about getting the right players in and out this summer transfer window. How is Havertz on Arsenal's bench after playing Euros quarterfinals and more games than Bruno last season, says Duncan. Don't know. It's up to them if they don't want to give him a big break. James says, Gary O'Driscoll out, Mark, who is the doctor for Manchester United. Well, first 45 minutes of pre-season for Anthony. See if we see anything different from him. Sancho's out on the left as well. Amas isn't on the pitch. I think Murray came on. I'm sure I saw Murray at left back. Remy says, have the Premier League installed the automated offside for next season? They will do, but it's not going to be ready for the start of the season. It's going to be there for after the first international break. McTominay's on, says Stuart. At least we'll get to see how strong our defence is when the other team controls the midfield. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we can get hold of the midfield with a midfield three of Eriksen, Oyedele and McTominay. McTominay playing in the more advanced role, though, so at least he's playing in his better position. But look, again, Eriksen playing as an 8. What's the fucking point? There's just no point. Humphrey's feeling positive about Yoro, said he did a full lap around the pitch after. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe. We're only 10 subscribers away from 902,000. Arsenal pinging the ball around a lot here. Haven't changed their team from the first half yet. And they've got a lot of players to come on. Well done, Anthony. Wins a free kick. Lee Berman says ultras. Guvert in the live chat says both injuries are prevention, so they won't get worse. Also, Hannibal better find himself a new club. Can't wait to see Kobe next week. Yeah, look, we've still got Garnacho, Mainu, Bruno and Martinez to come back. Four very important players. Rashford does look very fit. Ahmad has had a good start to pre-season. We've not seen Xerxes yet. I still think we could get Agate and De Ligt done by the end of the tour. It's not really. Delo as well, yeah. Delo as well. half a team, really, isn't it? And also, it's not result in pre-season, is it? I think the disappointment is that we were looking okay up until that Rasmus injury, and then it sort of knocked us a bit. But we're never going to get hold of the midfield with that midfield. I'm telling you now. And I think, you know, this would be my message to Ineos. It's like, we can go on tour and we can build bridges with the American public and we can sell shirts, but you're never going to go on tour and play high intense football when you've got Johnny Evans, Scott McTominay and a kid in the midfield, and you've got Johnny Evans and Fish as centre backs, a lad at right back who doesn't even play right back. You know, you're just not gonna. It's not gonna work. We're not gonna play these patterns of play that people think we're gonna play. We've had a super chat from Lenny Oro. I'm fine. I just wanted to fake it, so we signed a lit. Imagine. There is a penalty shootout after this game, by the way. Like we weren't excited enough. Do you think this game could impact De Ligt and Mazraoui negotiations? May bolster Bayern's asking prices, Dennis? No, I don't think so, because this is a new Manchester United now, and we'll just buy somebody else. We will have a pivot option. We know that Man United can pivot, so I don't see that. I think if it was Woodward or Arnold, yeah, you're absolutely correct, but Neil Massey says, as a vision-impaired person who is legally blind, I'm so grateful for you and your team for enabling me to still follow the team I've supported for almost 50 years. Thank you. And thank you for the nice message, Neil. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the game. Excited for the new season. I worry. I mean, I sort of look at this and I wonder how Jadon Sancho is meant to get going in a game like this. Anana's distribution's been terrible, says Chris. Would Mazraoui really be an upgrade at right back, says Ted? Well, he would be going forward, yeah. Nice switch of the play by Arsenal here. Oh, he's gone past Fish very easily. Tomley puts his foot in but loses it. And Arsenal are in again. Oh, what's he done there? Good save by Onana. I think it was Trossard. Makes a good save here, Onana. It was Trossard. Michael George says, is there a cup at the end of this tournament? Arsenal are craving a cup. That was a good save. That was a good save. I'd like to see it from a different angle. Don't think... Alex says that Sancho touched the ball yet. Well, we've had 15 minutes. Don't think he has. I think it's more of a realisation for Ineos that we signed well this summer. We have random pieces to a puzzle which don't work, says John. Oh, yeah, I completely agree. But look, I got called negative. I got called negative a couple of days ago because I said at the end of the day, for all the hype and bluster and positivity, and there has been a lot of good links to players, we've replaced Varane, our best centre-back, with an 18-year-old, and we've replaced Martial with Xerxes. That's all we've done. and people are talking like it's a new dawn, and the bottom line is it's not. We need a hell of a lot more. Andres says, Anana playing higher up the pitch is good to see. Tariq says, do you think Arsenal will win the league? No, I think Man City will win the league. Arsenal down the left-hand side again. I mean, to tell you what we haven't had a look at, and we do need to have a look at, is the stats. 62% possession for Arsenal. Just can't get the ball at the moment. Max says, what's your thoughts on the success synergy between Man United and Labour? Oh, is this to do with like Man United doing well when Labour are in power compared to the Tories? Well, I hope you're right. McTominay's getting a load of shit in the chat. Soham says, I would let McTominay go for free. He is shite. Oh, we just can't string a pass together here. Right, here's Sancho. He's actually done quite well there. Did well there, Sancho, to find a pass. And that's our best bit of play there. It actually came from some good play by Sancho. Anana receives the ball too central, hence why his distribution is easy to press and why once pressed his only option is one side of the field. Predictably makes him play longer, says Enrique. And John says, Sancho must play on the right. It's the only time he takes on players. Well, they've switched at the moment. I'm kind of surprised how Ahmad is leagues better than Anthony. He looks so off, says Brendan. Well, Man United have got a corner here. Will Eriksson beat the first man? He will. And are you going to do Formula 1 streams again, says Tariq? Not until it gets good. I mean, there's not really much point watching something that, you know, Verstappen's going to win every year. Anthony's back on the right-hand side now. Bit of possession for Man United, though. Right, here we go, Anthony. Don't cut inside and shoot. Yeah. If that's what's going to happen this season, what's the fucking point? There's just no point. Right, Arsenal are going to make 5 subs here. Gabriel, Partey, Vieira, and a couple. It's not. I was just seeing if Havertz or Martinelli were coming on. I thought it was puppy pee time, Wayne, but she's not awake yet, so I'll take her after this. John says, favourite snooker player, Mark? Was always Hendry, to be fair, growing up. But I do like O'Sullivan, Higgins, Williams. 37% possession is embarrassing. Nothing has changed, says mate. I'm not getting involved in this in pre-season. We beat them last year and they nearly won the league. So If you're trying to sack a manager or talk about style of play in pre-season, you're having a bloody laugh. This is just an advert for why we need to sell players. Simple as that. But I said it 20 minutes ago. You're never going to get hold of this game with that midfield. Here's McTominay into Anthony. Don't cut inside and shoot. Oh, he didn't. He gives it to McTominay. And we nearly scored there. Ten Hag should force Anthony to play on the left, only so he can't pull off a poor man's Robin attempt every time he has the ball, says Joseph. Mark, we still won the FA Cup, so enough of your negativity. We have a chance to the Premier League, says Paul. What are you talking about? How am I being negative? What are you talking about, mate? Don't start on me at like 2:30 in the morning with knobhead comments like that. Yeah, I mean, look, there is a distinct and easy assessment of this game so far, and that is that, I mean, McTominay doesn't do anything wrong there. Anthony doesn't do anything wrong there. And to be fair, the cutback nearly made it. Here's Anthony into McTominay. That's better. Yeah, because you should have passed McTominay instead of trying to get the shot off. You should have passed. I want us to sell players too, but it will take time, says MUFC. And Mark, thanks from Paul Connolly. Scott gets unnecessarily hate, says Naman. And good defending there. I think it was Johnny Evans who came across. Anthony. No. On this performance, you know what? I just genuinely don't get it with Anthony. I mean, I was really excited when we bought him from Ajax, and the player I saw at Ajax was nothing like the player I've ever seen at Man United. There was a creative aspect to his game at Ajax. He didn't used to just cut inside and shoot. He was actually a decent player. But, you know, Darsh is right. He's nowhere near Ahmad. I mean, defensively, we've done all right second half, to be fair. Oh, here we go, though. Good tackle, Fish. Anthony goes over. United should sign Heaven from Arsenal, says MUFC. Is he the one that Rasmus sent back to God? Our players are like... Yeah, I'm not reading that, Panda. I do like the away kit, Clements. I think it's a nice kit. But I don't buy football kits. Richard says, has Sancho touched the ball yet? He literally had about 5 minutes ago. He actually had quite a little bit of a good moment, but Yeah, he's not been on the ball much. Ali says Arsenal subbed in heaven and took Jesus off. Havertz is coming on, says Lenny. Here is Anthony. Galway or Omar tomorrow for All Ireland final. Come on, Galway, says Paul. I'll go Galway. Yeah, only because I've been there. Here we go. Oh, good interception. Have a shot, Ericsson. Corner. We played Arsenal at the MetLife Stadium last year, didn't we? Donovan, I've just read your chat. I want Anthony to find his Brazilian flair so badly, says Ali. I didn't realise Ericsson was playing, says Brendan. I mean, yeah. Ericsson playing in the 8 position is just never going to work. Right, Martinelli's coming on, Nketiah's coming on, and Havertz is coming on. 20 minutes to go. Who else have Arsenal got to play in pre-season? Anybody? I wonder if I can find it, actually. Arsenal have got... Manchester United. Got Liverpool on midweek. And then they've got Leverkusen next weekend. Oh no, they're not playing next weekend. They've got Liverpool midweek in Philadelphia. Then they've got Leverkusen and Lyon. Aston Villa are in America as well, playing Red Bull and Club America. Bournemouth haven't gone anywhere. Brentford haven't gone anywhere. Brighton have played in Tokyo. Chelsea are in America, playing Man City. And they played Celtic today. Crystal Palace are in the States as well. Everton haven't gone anywhere. Fulham have gone to Germany. Here's Arsenal on the attack. Liverpool are in the States. Man City are in the States. Newcastle have gone out to Japan. Tottenham, Japan. There we go. Did anyone ever find out where Barcelona and Real Madrid are? Dan Hutt says, I think he's only playing them 45 because last year we did overplay during pre-season. I'm a comedian. Would like to know who's your favourite comedian, says Dan. I like quite a wide range of it. Oh, Martinelli down the left-hand side here. Cuts it back. Oh, it could have been a goal, but Havertz didn't get his head on it. I do quite like Gervais. I went to watch him in stand-up. He was good. Are you going to do a transfer deadline show, says Sebastian? It is a month away. We'll see. And Scarecrow says, I feel your Man United bias is reduced since that's football and you've become more neutral. Do you feel this way? No, I think I am like that on That's Football. I don't think I'm like that on Man United on United stand. Corner to Arsenal here. Real Madrid and Barcelona are both in the States as well. Says Jin. Thank you very much, mate. Who's your favourite porn star, says MUFC. I'll leave that to you. I don't need to watch that sort of stuff. Yeah, Betis is next for United. I think we'll see more minutes for the first half team against Betis. But it's going to... I'll tell you what, it's a difficult game again, isn't it? To, you know, pick out individual performances and say, oh, yeah, they did well. I'd like to see Ipswich stay up, mate. Who's captain in the second half, says Dan. I think it's McTominay, isn't it? I would imagine it was... Oh, it could be Johnny Evans. I can't see an armband. Oh, apparently he's an Arna. What's that all about? If it was Johnny Evans and Anana was the captain, you'd be like, what the fuck? What? How the fuck have we been caught out here? Oh no, he was offside anyway. He was offside. Lenny says, are you doing a morning show? Well, there will be a morning show, but it'll probably be a little bit later. Normally it's a 10 o'clock show, but being as it's a Sunday, I sometimes do it at 11. And I will be doing it at 11 tomorrow because we've got my match reaction. Beth will be doing a match reaction from the stadium. And we might even get an interview with a player or two. So, yeah. Alberto says there is a player in fish, eh? Don't know about that. Matthew says, I lead the engineer team on the AV system for this stadium and feel so happy to finally have them here. And ESPN just called Will Fish Mark Fish, says MX. Rashi plus Sancho left wing, Garner plus Ahmad right wing thought, says Ali. Mate, on paper, I said this on the 8 o'clock show, on paper, those 4 players look really good. In reality, is that good enough to go into a Premier League season with? Ericsson, oh no. Evans down. Let's have a look what happens to Johnny Evans there. Be stunned if that's not a bad injury on Evans. That's gone right through him. Look at that. Right on his foot. Thomas Partey. That pitch is terrible. Look at it. You can see the lines in the pitch. He's up. Johnny's all right. He's all right. He's all right. Edo says, I didn't watch the game from the start. What happened with Rasmus and Yoro? Rasmus went off with something that we don't really know what it is because he was walking normally, but he obviously felt something. And then Yoro has gone off limping. So we'll await an update on both those players. Sheriff says McTominay is shit, Anthony is shit, Ericsson, God bless him, and Arna gives PTSD, the rest are kids. If we don't buy more players, we are so screwed. Cheers. There you go, Sheriff. Thanks for your super chat. Lake on the Moon says McTominay has ruined 5 attacks this half. Thank you very much. Wheatley's had absolutely nothing going on, has he, really? Scraps. Scraps for Wheatley. Well, we've got a penalty shootout if it finishes 1-1. In fact, we've got a penalty shootout if it finishes 4-0 to Arsenal, which it can't finish 4-0 to Arsenal. Yeah, there is a penalty shootout regardless of the final result, by the way, if you're not aware of that. Happened last year as well. Don't shoot the messenger because Martinelli's just scored a goal. That's crap defending by Manchester United, but Onana's not going to do anything from there. I mean, Cole says, are you staying up for UFC, Mark? I'm indeed struggling, pal. I think our defence is struggling here. Really. I mean, it's a crap goal. I mean, if you conceded this with your normal back four, you'd be fuming. Yeah, Fisher's got to close him down. Is it Fisher or is it Evans? Yeah, he's got to close him down. That's not good defending. It's just not good defending there. It's too easy for Martinelli, and Fisher's got to close him down. It's a shame because I think Fisher's done all right in pre-season, but that there, I don't know what he's doing. He's got to put the block in. He's got to put a tackle in. There's no excuse for that. It's bad defending from Fish. He's got plenty of time to get in there. I don't know what he's trying to do. Where's Sancho been? Well, where's Anthony been, mate? You know, I said at half time, we're never going to get hold of that midfield with that midfield. Clarence, thanks for being a member. There are more lines on the pitch than lines on our hands, says a Toro. I mean, some of these players, again, meant to be playing for your future. And it's going through the... Our right back is so low. Well, he's not a right back, is he? Scanlon's not a right back as far as I remember. Pretty sure he was a winger. So the person at right back being lost makes sense because he's not a right back. MT90 says Shaw stays on tight on his man there. Good cross by Ericsson, but I think that goes for a corner. Another corner here. Ericsson's going to take. Injuries all over the place. All the more reason to get another centre half. Why on earth did we keep our fitness staff on Ineos Fitness Gurus, says United AV. What's your thoughts on today, Mark? Look, pre-season is pre-season, and result is nowhere near as important as individual performance and team performance. Team performance is a holy grail that we're not going to hit because we've got the wrong players. If I can look at a midfield three and say that's not going to work before they've even kicked a ball, I can't moan when it doesn't work. Like Ericsson, McTominay and Oyedele is not going to work and hasn't worked because they're not people that can play the roles that we need to play. So if I'm Ineos, I'm looking at that and I'm going, whether it's bringing Amrabat back, signing Agate, I've got to do something with that midfield because it doesn't work and it won't work next season. In an attacking sense, we've just not really got the ball forward enough to understand what someone like Sancho or Anthony could do, but I still expect them to go and get the ball a little bit more. Mark, I'm hammered after the Saturday night. Didn't expect to see you were streaming. Lots of love from your neighbours in Ireland, says Ralph Wiggum. I hope you had a good night, mate. And Rise76 says, I'm superstitious. I'd rather lose and finish top 4, says Rise76. Oh, yeah, the result doesn't matter. It's just, I think, the squad is just not good enough. It's not good enough, is it? But we already knew that. It's a tiring point, but we've replaced Varane with Yoro and Martial with Xerxes, and that's it. That's all we've done so far. So, as horrible as it sounds, pre-season might not actually be that important because we haven't actually got most of the players that we need. Difference in class and energy between Martinelli and Anthony is plain to see. Anthony walking around the place doing sweet fuck all, says Ian Hanley. I mean, sorry, look, I love Johnny Evans, but he's just blasted the ball 40 yards forward into for a throw-in. It's a lot of footage of Ten Hag and Rude and Rennie. Pointless tour, should be back in Manchester on the training ground working on tactics, as Rory C, and play a few behind closed doors friendlies. I said this before, and I'm sure some of you've heard it before, so apologies for repeating it, but I do a Monday podcast with Ben Foster and Dave Watson, both former goalkeepers. Dave Watson was actually England's goalkeeping coach under Roy Hodgson. And this time last year, was talking about pre-season, and he basically said that pre-season is just an absolute waste of time for a coach. You really just want to be at home at Carrington, training the players, getting them ready, but you can't because the pressure from above is to go on tour and make money and sell shirts, and that's why everybody does it. But everybody does do it. You know, Arsenal are doing it. It's not like we're the only club that does it. But we picked up 2 big injuries last year, didn't we? Mainu was out till November. Ahmad was out till Christmas. Both picked up in pre-season. Sunil says, sell Anthony and Sancho immediately. Look, I'll go back to what I've said before. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, McTominay, Eriksen, Casemiro, Sancho. That's 7 players. The more you keep, the more we're going to struggle. Robert McCormack says the pens are the real quiz, and that's the real quiz. Well, if the penalty takers are players from this second half, it's pointless anyway. Oh, it's pointless anyway. What am I talking about? It is pointless anyway. Nice little layoff by Wheatley. But McTominay gets in the way of Anthony. Terence says, Ashworth must see what we see or we're in trouble. And SG says, Garner left and Sancho right would work well. Sancho's best games for United have been on the right in the early days of Ten Hag. Switch will be good as both can actually play either wing. I think Sancho will get sold, mate. Mark, Anana's distribution has been absolutely shit, says Rashid. Well, it'll be interesting to see what Ten Hag says after the game, because he did say after the Rosenborg game that he wasn't that happy. And I don't think he'll be happy again. That's one thing that will be a positive, is that there's no way Ten Hag's going to sit there and say he's happy with that. Because he won't be. I know what I want to say, and I'll say it in the match reaction. You know, it's it needs calling out. Like pre-season doesn't matter, the performance doesn't matter, but the problems are there. It's got nothing to do with pre-season. The problems are there with the players that we can see on the pitch again. Here's Sancho. Arsenal have the ball. Here's Anthony. Don't cut in and shoot. For fuck's sake. What's the point? What is the point? This is meant to be high-end football, and we've got a winger who cuts inside and shoots every fucking time. I can't speak. I can't speak. I thought we'd scored there, but it's actually a foul on the goalkeeper anyway. Well, it's a 3-on-1. It's a threesome on the goalkeeper there. They're all banging him. Yeah, Wheatley bangs him, and then Evans. Yeah, easy foul that. Easy foul. I don't know why he hasn't blown up here, really. He should be going to penalties now. Mark, it's the McToney, says Steve Gabidon. Why are people so invested in pre-season results? If it was the Premier League or a cup, I get it. But come on, it's just shit friendly, says Jackie Boy. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Jackie Boy. It's the result doesn't matter. The bigger picture matters in relation to we can see the same problems next season, can't we? Because we've still got a lot of the same shit. I wish I could find a relationship as consistent as Anthony cutting inside to shoot. Pray for me, Mark, says Ali. Don't see any academy this season making the grade, says Mud. Well, I thought Collier and Amas did well in the first half. Liverpool already have an identity under Slot, even with academy players on the pitch. Style of play is from coaching, says Lanny. That is... Lanny, I haven't got time because we're going into a scintillating penalty shootout, but Arne Slot has just inherited a Liverpool team built by Klopp over the last 7 years that doesn't have any weaknesses. Erik Ten Hag still hasn't been able to dismantle the shit that was left to him from Mourinho and Solskjaer. So your comment is flawed. It will appeal to simpletons who want to moan, but Arne Slot has just inherited a Liverpool side that's been built over 7 years by Jurgen Klopp that won a Champions League and a Premier League and is a very, very good squad. Erik ten Hag is not allowed to sell the shit that Solskjaer and Mourinho bought. So how can you compare the two? You can't get blood out of a stone, and you can't get a team to play football like Liverpool when you've got players that belong at Burnley. Right, penalty shootout time. Then it's match reaction time. Let's just get on with this. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Make sure you subscribe, by the way. It's been a marathon this tonight. You've got to go to ESPN Plus to see penalties. Don't do it. Just stay here. Why can't you watch the penalties on ESPN? It's weird. This is really weird. Really weird. Seems a long time ago since Rasmus scored that goal, doesn't it? Right, penalty shootout. Here we go. Tom says, I've watched this match from New York and still want to go to bed. And Morgan says, I've done that one as well. Thank you very much for all your super chats tonight. Make sure you subscribe. Penalty shootout. The excitement is riveting. You know, I don't know. I just want to do my match reaction, to be honest. But here we go. Penalty shootout time. Ray says we played well until we lost Hoyland. Second half was the kids and the rejects. Well, at least that's the last game where we're going to change the team at half-time. And fair play, Arsenal didn't do that. I mean, this is a complete and utter waste of time, right? You know, people who say this is good practice. It's not, because there's no pressure. It's a gimmick. There's no pressure on this at all. If you win the penalty shootout, is that the... You know, I don't know. Why penalties? It's America, Mark. If there's not a ball hitting a net every 30 seconds, they're uninterested, says Dennis. Watch Anthony come good, Mark. The GOAT delivers, says Ali. Yeah. I hope you're right, mate, but it's consistency, isn't it? It's consistency, and the only thing Anthony's consistent at is cutting inside and shooting, and that's just not going to help. Unless you're going to score every week, it's not going to help. Jackie's very excited. Do we win a toy if we win? Okay, first penalty, here we go. What's Onana doing here? I thought he was taking the piss. He loves it. Onana loves the bloody camaraderie of it, doesn't he? Oh, I don't know what Onana was doing there. He was trying to like show him half the goal, going like shoot here, and he shot the other way. So Arsenal scored their first one. Divine says, will you bring the dog in if you win? Linda couldn't sleep. Andorra is liking it. Lovely stuff. I just want to do my match, right? Oh, McTominay, here we go. Scooby-Doo. This will give you a 3-year contract if you score, and he scores it. Good penalty, actually. Two injuries already, says Thomas. More of the same. Ten Hag singing, I wish I was free from Mourinho. My defence is terrified. Free from Ollie. My defence is terrified, says Anthony Tracy. I'd love to give it more, but it is 3:10 in the morning, mate. Havertz, penalty 2. Thomas says, you look beat. I mean, I do just want to do my match reaction, really. I don't really want to be watching a penalty shootout that I don't understand. Good save by Onana from Havertz. Went down the middle. What's that stat about going that second penalty taker going down the middle? Well, a lot of them seem to do it. There's some stat about going down the middle with your second penalty. Damn it, Mark, you've got McSauce a 3-year deal, says Jackie Boy. Johnny Evans, here we go. Fancies it, it's going to smash this. Yeah, good penalty. Something about centre-backs and the way they just blast it, isn't there? And boy, did he blast it. That's mad. We actually had more shots than Arsenal. Look, we had 10 shots, 3 on target. They had 6, 3 on target. More possession for them. We had way more corners. Kiviar for Arsenal. Why are the penalties? Because we're in America. There was always going to be a penalty shootout, apparently. It happened last year as well. And he's missed it. What did I say about centre-backs being good at penalties? That was fucking rubbish. Didn't even hit the target. That was absolutely dreadful. How do you miss the goal altogether? Fucking hell. Ethan Wheatley's next. Can I just say the replays on this have been absolute shit as well. I remember this from last year. Wheatley. Good. Oh. I'll tell you what. I don't know how much he missed that by, but bloody hell. Yeah, he's missed that. Hard to tell whether it was worse than Kivier's, but missed the whole target. Martinelli, this is penalty 4 for Arsenal. Scores. That makes it 2-2. Man United have still got their 4th penalty to take. Alex says this is some bullshit. I've got my match reaction coming up after this, don't worry. If you're excited, well done. I'm painting a fence tomorrow. You can come and watch me do it. Ericsson, good penalty. So Arsenal need to score theirs and Man United to miss to go to sudden death. But I would just leave it, to be honest. I would leave it. So if Onana saves this or he misses it, we've won on penalties, whatever that means. Right. Gabriel scores, which means if we don't score, it will go to sudden death. If we do score, we'll have won an irrelevant penalty shootout in a pre-season game. Who gets to score the penalty? Anthony. Anthony's stepping up, apparently. No, Jadon Sancho. Anthony didn't even take a penalty. Wonder why Anthony didn't fancy... Well, Sancho scores. Manchester United win the penalty shootout. Lose the game, but win the shootout. Sancho's got his top off. He's running a race. Not really. I wonder why Anthony didn't take one then. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to do my match reaction. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Absolute legends. We're hopefully going to have some player interviews coming up for you. I've got my match reaction as well. I'll record that now and get it up. And thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. We've got the morning show back tomorrow as well. 8 o'clock show as well. Absolute legends tonight. Well done for getting through it. And at least the next one, we won't have to change the team at half time and watch what we saw in the second half. Take care. Thanks for staying up with me. I'll speak to you in a bit.